It is time. It is time to begin.
In the beginning, there was only Zool.
That is
Zool,
not the correct setting.
Zool.
I know, but it sounds better.
Unless Zool's an old one, in which case I guess we can fudge it.
I don't know if Zool would count as an old one.
I mean, or it may be some like super forgotten demon or something.
Take your pill. Thank you.
I approve.
I mean, we have Uzul. We have 2 Uzuls, actually.
Yeah, which,
so
honestly...
if we put them together, we get Ulzul.
No, we get 2 Zool.
2 Zool or not to Zool?
There's
Is it too late to give up?
Yeah,
no,
You're okay.
It's never too late to give up.
Choose to school.
So, I guess I'll go ahead and do the recap this time. So, last time in Lustria, we finally arrived on the continent itself, though we arrived without the rest of our fleet, unfortunately, which has introduced a couple of issues, as our ship is not very well equipped to ensure the success of our expedition or the survival of its crew. Therefore, we decided to pull a Scooby-Doo and split things up, with the player party, along with, I think, 1 NPC, headed over to the coast to go ahead and scout out the landing site, to hopefully start setting up our little port town, and the rest of the ship went looking for the remainder of the fleet, because we need them for lots of things. After we parted ways, we set up on the beach, set up in a very small cave. Some of the players found giant, mysterious, very large egg-like things, and decided to dig them up to hang on to them, before we went off to solve the issue of there being lots and lots of ripperdactyls swarming the area around where we needed to set up a port. It's because it's nice, stable ground and not just soft, sandy beach that could get easily destroyed by weather changes.
Erosion.
And that. So we investigated after the ripperdactyls left at night, and sure enough discovered a tunnel burrowed into the rock that has a bunch of bloat toads in it. A ton of bloat toads in it. It also had a strange type of fungus-like material that seemed to have been built or produced by very, very large ants that lived down there. Likely the boat toads were feeding on them. So in any event, we decided to do the only thing one would do upon finding giant ants and also giant horrible toads, and we burned the place up. We burned it, or at the very least smoked it out, but scorched it pretty good. And also, Tatakai killed a bloat toad and took it with him to smear its scent all over the jungle to hopefully lead the ripperdactyls away from us. And then upon returning to the little cave spot, we discovered that there was a giant, angry, dragon turtle-like creature that was pretty pissed that we took its eggs. So we decided not to be awful and gave its eggs back, and the creature moseyed back into burrowing them beneath the ground and decided not to trouble us any further, and that is where we left off.
You forgot one really, really, really important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to offer you a handful of moss.
You never know when that might come in handy later. It is currently the most Chekhovs of guns we possess.
Fear not. The demon prince we face at the end of this campaign will have one deadly weakness.
Yeah, pocket
the
moss.
Yes.
That is going to be the true weakness.
But I have pocket moss. You do not.
Make sure you write it in your character sheet.
All of you wake up on the next morning. You guys camped in a little cleft on the close to this to the beach site where the colony is going to be built. You basically left this amount of smoke to be carried into the cave, and as you wake up, the sky seems to be clear. all of you are there. Roko seems to have eventually slept. He is still on like fetal position on the ground, but he seems to be still alive. And the gigantic creature, this turtle, is still on the beach, although he is quite far away, kind of like the connection between the water and the sand. He seems to be stuck around to protect the area where his eggs are. The sky seems to be clear from the impression you guys have. If Ripperdactyls were in the sky, they would be very visible, and you have not seen any sign of one up until now, at least. What would you like to do?
Egon would like to stretch after an uncomfortable night's sleep, since he probably slept on a rock in the sand or something. His back feels awful. And with that, he asks no one in particular, "What do we have for breakfast?" Scratch. He asks
I have moss.
no one in particular, "What do we have for breakfast?" I don't want to eat moss. He asks
I have moss.
no one in particular,
Well, we got
"What do we
these.
have for breakfast?" I don't want to eat moss.
I have moss.
No one in particular. You know what I could really go for? Egon says with a hint of mirth in his voice. You know what I could really go for? Egon says with a hint of glances over at the turtle and then thinks better of it.
Roko in his sleep starts mumbling, "Eggs, eggs."
See? He agrees with me.
Gerard considers for a moment and then moves his thumb across his neck and gives Egon a nod.
Hey, Twin Tail.
Tahatakai will kind of perk up from his little hole he had dug himself in the sand to lay down in.
Do you think there's any nests around here? You know, non-Ripperdactyl ones where we could possibly steal some eggs?
Tahatakai will nod and say, "Tahatakai, go look."
Egon makes the sign of Sigmar and says, "God's speed to you then."
Can I go for a, survival check?
Yeah, you're gonna try to gather some food?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and scrounge something up.
Yep. Yeah, auto survival. Make it average.
Good thing, too. I'm terrible at this. All right.
Hey!
But it's
Barely
still a
made it.
pass.
Heck yeah.
You find you eventually, like, you're able to climb quite easily on some of the trees that you have some experience on, and you find this little almost like colorful nest that has some blue and purple feathers on it, that kind of like falling around it, that has some eggs that are this kind of like beige with some purplish, some kind of like purplish blue on the bottom, which you identify to be kind of like a parrot's egg. It is quite big. The eggs are quite the size of your hand, but it is edible.
All right. I will take as many as I can find.
Take a couple with you, and you guys can have eggs.
Eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, Tactikai will just come back out of the jungle with just like some eggs in his hands and just hold out all but one of them that he keeps to himself.
Just cracks it open, puts a straw in, slurp, slurp, slurp.
Honestly, Tactikai would probably just eat the entire egg.
Ugh.
Full mouth crunches inside.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does like a snake swallow.
Yeah.
Just for my pure entertainment, how are you guys eating those eggs? How do you cook them?
Omelette, baby. We have a pan and we get a fire going.
You guys have some chunks of like almost like a salted jerky, and some other like minimal stuff from the rations that you could also kind of sprinkle inside if you want to.
Yeah. Best part is we don't need we don't need any salt for these because the meat is plenty salted already.
There we go.
So yeah, we have some salted meat omelette, which, man, now I want to try that. Not gonna lie.
I have done
that. Actually does sound pretty good.
It is very tasty.
Yum. All right. So, delicious breakfast aside, after giving out a hearty burp, Egon does ask to the group, so, do we want to go check out the plateau now that we don't risk getting eaten?
Tatakai's gonna kind of bob his head in assent and say, "Yes, Tatakai, say, go to Otto."
Before we go, we should probably find a river or something to gather some water.
Good idea. Good idea. Actually, Egon just turns to Twintail and says, "Did you see a river, perchance, on your little egg hunt?"
Or a stream. Anything will do, so long as it has fresh water.
Did I?
You have not. You were also not searching for it, so...
Yeah, Tatakai...
Berard spent some time looking for fresh water, but I don't remember if he found any.
Don't remember if you rolled or not.
I'll look it up, but Tatakai can answer.
Tatakai kind of pauses for a moment and says, "No cha."
I take that as a no?
Yes.
Yes, that it's a no.
Yes.
Perfect.
Shrug.
Masters of communication. Berard has not found a source of water. I cannot find a successful test for anything like that.
I think my search got interrupted by the stones.
I think so. If any of you want to, especially Tatakai and Berard, which you were looking for it, you can do either like a altar survival or perception or any other role you think could be relevant for this.
All right. Is this average?
It's going to be average for Tatakai. Berard, I'm going to say, at least for now, as you're getting used to the environment, this is going to be a challenging role for you.
I'm going to go for perception.
Holy crap.
Good.
What a... Okay, just glorious successes all around.
Yeah.
Tatakai, you are... I'll make a statement and you can correct it or like change it any way you want for the interpretation of your character. But Tatakai, you are still getting used to the place you are. There's a lot of stuff in your mind which you didn't put there. A lot of things that are not your experience, but like information that your kind of like lizard brain didn't experience on their own. So you're trying to piece a lot of it together, especially because you are relatively close to a lot of different places, right? Which are like a lot of different places in the in the grand territory that is of the lizardmen. There's a lot of different places here that could be that could provide water to you. And as you're looking at it, as you're kind of like trying to piece together, you as you're trying to kind of like identify landmarks and things like that, Berard, you get close to the jungle itself, and you know a good way of tracking water, which is looking for herbivores. Carnivores are a little tricky because they usually go where there's food and they don't drink a lot of water. But herbivores drink a lot of water.
What?
Stuff like creatures that eat only usually like mushrooms and legumes usually stay near water because they drink it, as opposed to carnivores, carnivores don't drink that much water in the scheme of like ecology.
Wait, no, that's just not true. Carnivores typically spend most of their lives around water because they know that their prey items come towards it. The closer you get to water, the bigger things get.
Not to drink. So yeah, not to drink, but to, eat the herbivores.
Yeah. No, they also drink more than herbivores because their bodies exert more than most herbivorous animals.
Anywho.
That contradicts a lot of information that I found, but sure. What you do find is, Berard, what you do find on the ground is a lot of markings for different tracks of animals going in a certain direction.
Go ahead, Takai. What's that track? What's going that way?
Player's choice.
Tatakai looks down at the track. GM, is it particularly small or large?
The signs of the like markings of tracks of creatures, they are of different sizes. But mostly small. They're like boar sized.
Tatakai will kind of ponder on how exactly to express for a moment before he settles on small beast, tusk beast.
Rod looks around and considers. So it could be anything here.
Many things. Jungle always full.
Well, if I know right, and animals still act the same here, then this should be a trail towards the watering hole.
Could follow. Use care. Minutely dangerous.
Alright. Berard will use his rover talent and follow the trail.
Alright. And Takai, you are aware that there are pools of water that exist for a lot of reasons in the forest. Either for drinking or for ceremonies and things like that. Which are kind of like spread out. There's a lot of monuments that are spread up throughout Lustria, even far away from temple cities. Some of them are sacred, some of them are not. There's a lot of reasons why these things are there, and some of them are frequented by animals. And they are usually a good source of water, if you were to.
If I discover any evidence of a non-sacred site, I would be happy to volunteer that information. If I think we're near like a site of Tzunki or something, I would have a different reaction. But I'll see where this trail takes us.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you're gonna have to arrive there and kind of check out the situation because you don't have any information of specific places.
All right.
You just know that these places exist. However, I am going to say, for the sake of mechanics, this is going to be an expedition. So it is going to be a number of days of trekking into the jungle to check out this source of water. Not because of physical distance, but just because of the difficulty in traversing the environment. Tehetakai would be able to arrive there probably in hours, but the rest of you are going to have a harder time going.
Are Ashling and Egon going to come with us, or are they gonna stay behind and do something else?
I mean, might as well get some experience from the jungle, right? This is me out of character, so yeah. Let's go as a group instead of splitting the party, which sounds awful. So
we should definitely split the party.
No.
Should we? Okay, so would we agree that Rocco should probably stay behind in our little beach base or at the founding site, just in case the ships come back?
I definitely think, he should, and he's probably fine with just staying in the safe cleft.
Good old safety cleft.
Safety cliff. Safety cliff.
All right, then let's go find some water.
Sweet.
Rocco stays behind. It doesn't take a lot of convincing.
Nope.
As he's glad to stay in this little safe place that he built. And as you guys go, it is going to be a track that takes a couple of hours to get to. I think it's a good opportunity for us to use the Jungle Expedition rules, just so we have kind of like a little bit of an experience with that. And
start getting used to it.
Yeah. Start getting used to
it. Little tutorial expedition is always nice.
Yeah. So for the baseline of the expedition, it's going to be one stage expedition, just because it's a couple of hours away from you guys. But it is going to be the first experience. Usually a couple of hours wouldn't even take a stage, but due to never having walked in such an environment, it is going to take a little bit more time. I don't think any of you have a movement of 3 or lower.
No. 4 is the slowest in this party.
Cool. We're going to do like this. Who wants to roll for the weather?
I do.
Roll me a d10.
Oh, damn, I thought it was a d100. I bet. Sorry.
I'll just say it's a 9, since it's 90.
Yeah, a 9.
Okay, a 9. That's a good start. And anyone for the D100, which is going to be the jungle encounter.
Why don't Ashling roll it?
Yeah.
Roll the d100.
You think you're gonna keep doing that?
Oh God.
Awesome.
I don't know if we want high or low yet.
You guys begin your trek to the jungle, and as you begin, like a couple of hours, like an hour after leaving, there's almost like an oppressive atmosphere of the jungle. This thick jungle, after a couple of minutes actually of going inside, you barely see the beach. There's very little to orientate yourself. It's very hard to see, and the forest itself is very dark inside. Even though it is like a bright and sunny day, inside it becomes way darker, and you start really feeling the difference in, especially like humidity and heat it is warm. It's not a hot like like something like direct sunlight, like a scalding hot. It's just that every time you walk, you're hitting a wall of heat, and then you do it
it's
again
Florida.
and again. It's almost like
Yep.
I don't know if you have the experience of like turning the air conditioning way on, and then leaving your house and kind of like hitting that wave of heat from the outside.
Yeah, I live here.
Actually, it's most likely for anyone in the audience. It's when you step off an airplane into a much warmer climate than you're used to.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
wall hits you, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's so warm here!" And then, like, slowly but surely, you get used to it. But then again, it's very humid in this place, so it's very hard to get used to.
There's no escape.
Imagine you're hitting one of those walls every 10 or 15 seconds. Like,
Ooh.
it is like everything is very still, and everything is always moving, but everything is also very still. Like it gives.
Hooray!
It is one of those like very, very difficult places to be. Tehetaka, you're having a fucking blast because you're home. This is home turf, baby. This is the heat and the moisture that you're seeing.
Sotek blesses us.
Tehetaka is almost shining, you know when someone like wakes up with like a beautiful skin, or like almost like shining on the under the light.
Shiny and chrome.
Yeah, like for all of you, the rest of you, it is miserable. It's horrible.
Oh yeah.
Horrible.
Although, funnily enough, we're probably about as well dressed for the occasion as it could possibly be. Maybe not Berard, like, he's pulling off a little Marcus Wolfhard situation here. So, I'm not sure how he's handling that.
Honestly, just because of it is so hot inside that the way you guys are dressed doesn't affect it that much. Just because of the overwhelming feeling of heat. What Berard may be feeling if he's sleeveless, I don't know if Berard is actually sleeveless.
Probably not.
Yeah, if they were sleeveless, like something you do start to notice is that wearing long sleeves is necessary because the trees and the bushes and the like natural life is so close to each other that you have to actually physically move things out of the way to keep moving. And therefore, very quickly, like your skin, your shirts, like the sleeves of the shirts, starts getting markings of stuff. You're probably gonna say you're gonna use the machete, right?
No, it's like after this adventure, Egon's machete arm is going to be like buff as shit.
You wave it, and even with the machete, because the machete helps a lot. But like even with that, you are sore. Your hands and your feet are tired. They hurt. Like none of you are sedentaries, but just like walking through this place is a very exhaustive experience. But then, as you're feeling this heat, there's a breeze that passes through. The trees shake and they move, and there's this cold wind that comes from the direction of the sea into you, and it is very relieving for a second, because then the thunder hits.
Whoosh.
There is this very, very quick change of the weather. The rain, the sunshine may not pass through the canopy of the trees, but the rain surely does. It seems to start coming from everywhere, as if every single leaf in this place is starting to spit on you. The winds, which are the trees, which are these like huge trees of like 100 feet tall, they start moving violently, and you start hearing the crackling of thunder. You have rolled a 9, which in the season you are right now means a tropical storm.
Oh, jeez.
It comes very quickly, and it is aggressive. Like, it is... The droplets are not like fine droplets. They are huge, almost like someone is punching you in the back. And they are falling quickly and frequently.
Okay, so Tehetakai, I guess, noticing this change in the weather, kind of looks up and is like, "Find shelter! Dangerous here!"
Alright, lead the way, Twintail. Quick! Ow! Oh, it hurts.
It
Alright,
might,
how do we...
It might be better for someone who is better. I am not very good at outdoor survival. I assume that's the check that needs to be rolled.
Yeah. It is going to be a difficult outdoor survival check. Usually would be like -20 because of the tropical storm, but I am just going to make it difficult because otherwise you guys are fucked.
Can I support...
Nope.
Can I support Berard, I guess?
Yeah, I don't make it.
I'll allow you to give like a helping.
Yeah, I do have advanced. I am trained in it. I'm just not that great at it, so I would rather support him.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, I will add the
Berard.
modifier of +10.
So it's gonna be a straight challenging.
Ooh.
You've got the best chance out of all of us.
Yeah!
Hey, look at that. You did it.
Bulls, horns, and Lustria, the fresh water finds you.
Please, if you wouldn't mind, describe to me where you find shelter on this place. Like, what is the place you're
Well,
looking?
conveniently, there's this 5-star hotel that we found.
That might be the most terrifying place to stay in the Lustrian jungle.
Yeah, I know
Probably.
a Slanesh trap when I see it.
Berard looks for something leeward of the ocean, some kind of hill, and then making sure the ground isn't so low that it gets swamped from all the rain. Find some tree with broad leaves, and some of them are going to be falling in this storm, and just trying to keep leeward side of the hill. Build some kind of structure that's just enough to keep the leaves to spread out the water and stop it from falling on us.
You find actually, as you're looking and trying to find for like very broad leaves, you find a tree that looks like almost like a dress. It has very long leaves that touch the ground. It has like 2 meters of height, and like the leaves are very wide and very long, and they do this like curving towards the ground. And differently from the other trees, it has a very thick trunk, so it is not moving as much. And as you peek inside, you see that inside is dry. It is basically like a natural shelter that is very close to, like, it doesn't, because it is close to like a hill, as you said, there's like hilly terrain. It doesn't rain as much, and also the tree protects. So it's like a combination of the two factors. All of you jump inside, and it doesn't take very long. I would say it's about like 30 minutes to an hour. And as quickly as it came, the weather just changes again. You feel the shifting of the weather as the wind stops and the sound of the droplets ceases. And with the last crackling of thunder on the horizon, there is no more. There's no more rain.
We may resume.
Does that
praise
happen
Toph.
often?
Yes. It's
I
Suzuki
have-
season.
I had my jug out collecting rainwater.
Jug.
You collect a
Wow.
bit of rainwater. There's a bit of there's a couple of leaves that fell into it, like small leaves, but it is mostly rainwater.
Perfect. I got us some water.
Move before another storm. Quick, quick.
Tahakai, drink first.
Glug glug.
Tactica is just gonna kind of like maneuver over to like various leaves and just use his tongue to kind of lap off droplets and puddles that are already have already kind of created themselves.
Oh, that works, I guess.
Trizanka's no delay.
Yes, of course.
Alright, we move.
We continue the traveling.
And
You
all of a
guys,
sudden, a Dreadsaurian.
there's a shifting of the ground as it
Oh,
got
no.
very. No, it's a natural thing. It's like rain, because the floor of the forest is mainly dead leaves instead of being like pure ground. There's a lot of like centimeters of leaves on the ground, and a lot of it is like shifting, and it becomes a little hard to traverse because of the rain. Some of it is a little familiar to you. It is almost like stepping on very deep snow. This feeling of this uneasy of terrain and this like crunching sound for those of you that have experienced like deep snow. It is a little similar to it. It's a little uneasy. But quickly as this humidity came, it also goes, and quickly enough, you guys are walking terrain.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
You follow the track of these creatures, and doesn't take too long for you to see this place that they are gathered. You actually see the creatures first before you see the place. The creature is the pelt is fully black. It has a little patch of white fur underneath the snout. It is basically like a wild boar. It has the size and the composition of a boar. Very elongated, kind of like wide to the sides. A little, not a broken, but like a tiny tusk on either side of the mouth. And this thick pelt on the back, almost like the quills of a porcupine. Not as thick and not as wide, but it is just like this bristly back. You count 30 of them, more or less. There's like a huge pack of them. They are eating some mushrooms that are around this place. And as it opens, you do see this pool. It's almost like a round opening on the ground that has a bunch of stacked rocks around it. Tehetakai, as you look at it, doesn't seem to be. It doesn't have any markings that you can see. It doesn't have any gold or anything from a distance, at least, until you haven't actually entered the space. You just see it through the trees. It's almost like a clearing inside the forest that has these this well, and it doesn't have any markings, but it has stones piled up in a way that does indicate civilization.
Yeah, he's gonna be a little suspicious. Kind of looking at the herd. How large are these pigs? Are they like typical hog sized, or are they a bit larger, smaller?
They're a little smaller than let me back.
Are they smaller than Tehetekai?
God, I hope so.
They are.
They're
Okay,
bigger
phew.
than me. We got a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not American hogs then.
Yeah,
They
no.
are a little. They are a little smaller than like boars or hogs.
So they're kind of more like javelinas.
Yeah. They are around. Oh, it does have the translation. They are around 2 by 11, like 2 and 11 inches, and like 2 feet and 11 inches and 4 feet and 3 inches. Which to those that don't use Imperial, it is 90 to 130 centimeters. So they are big.
About a meter. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're about a meter.
Okay, so
they
still
seem a little
pretty
heavy.
Yeah, still pretty reasonably dangerous.
Yeah.
Hey, Bernard, you should go there and stab one. We could eat it.
What, with the whole herd there? Stabbing boar is a fool's game.
Oh
Good
no,
way
not with the
to
whole
get
herd
ate.
there.
Well, see, what happens when you stab a boar? It just kind of runs up the stick you're stabbing with it and then gores ya.
Well, then don't get gored.
I'm attached to it with the stick I just stabbed.
Look, I don't know how hunting actually works, I'll be honest with you. But I do know that that thing is in possession of a lot of food. Namely, pork, bacon, ham. All of these things come from that animal right there.
Yeah, some magical animal that has all these things. Right.
Would have to
Forgive.
carry back to camp.
It might be worth it to pick off one of the younger ones or a sick one.
It'd be better, because they got a trail they go through that goes by the camp to just set up a trap for one of them.
Tehetekai
Better
must
walk.
ensure Jozanka's not Zik. Return quickly. Tehetekai is going to try and stealth so he can go investigate the stones to make sure we're not somewhere we're not supposed to be.
I'm gonna walk
Also-
brazenly in and pick up some mushrooms.
Ah!
You're gonna
Your
do some foraging?
funeral.
You're gonna do some foraging?
Yeah, I'm foraging for a bunch of mushrooms.
No, that's necessary.
Do I startle any of the boars?
You're getting close to them?
Well, I assume that's where they're eating from.
Yeah.
But I am posing myself as a non-threat.
Egon is standing very close by, definitely posing as a threat.
Make a charm animal roll. Say
Hey, look at that. Oh, wait, no, that was the stealth test.
Yeah, no, that was me.
Holy crap.
Is this challenging or average?
average.
I got this.
Berard.
Maybe reroll that.
Yeah.
Berard.
Is that your
You can
third
roll-
90 in a row?
You can
There
roll,
we go.
you can roll Lord Beasts if you want to.
Hello, pigs.
Oh, that's challenging.
It is going to be challenging because you don't have experience with these creatures. But
Man.
I assume 12 success levels is good enough for me to sneak past the pigs without.
yeah,
bothering
let me just resolve each of these things one at a time. I'm just gonna ask
Hello,
first.
pigs. Come here.
Egon,
Come here.
do you? Egon, what do
Woman,
you
those
want
are
to do?
wild animals.
No, I'm just gonna stand close-ish to Aisling, making sure that nothing is like sneaking up behind her or anything like that.
Come here, pigs. Come on. Come here. Come
As
here.
you are, as the white woman gets close to the dangerous animals.
God damn it.
Okay.
Wait, I've
in
read
all
this somewhere.
honesty, I do this in real life too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it works. It's wild.
There was a video.
And Victor
like,
gets bit by horses.
there was a video of like there was a big animal and then there's a bunch of white women reacting to it going like kitty and then it's going like no, it's a panther.
No,
It
it's
is
a
going to
kitty.
maul you to death. No kitty.
No, it's a kitty. It's
Can
a
I
kitty.
pet it?
Like,
Once.
I am gonna pet it.
it's like bloop,
Wild.
bloop, 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 bloop. That's a predator. We're blooping. Bloop, bloop,
I
bloop, bloop,
married
bloop.
one, but sometimes wild.
But yes, I am walking over to a boar to pet it.
So Berard, your first instinct, because you did fail with a 99, your first instinct is to remember why a lot of farms have like hogs on them. Because they eat anything. Anything. And they have teeth. And they have tusks. And there's 30 of them. If they for some reason want to eat like human flesh, they would probably make quick work of you. That is kind of like, I think that is the first thing that kind of like comes to Berard's mind. I don't know how much he takes that feeling seriously, but
And
that
then
is like
I
the
walk
first
past
thing that
him.
he takes. Yeah, and you see the white woman going in the direction of the crazy. Ashley, as you are arriving, they don't seem to be like, they don't stay close to you. They stay far away. They're a little skittish as they kind of like leave your presence.
I am gonna offer them food.
But one of them comes, a little bit of a smaller one, has a bit of a white streak, because he's like fully black, and there's a white patch of fur on the neck. By the way, I sent an image of the close resemblance.
The theme of completely adorable creatures in Lustria continues, I see.
We'll see. And you see that one of them kind of like comes closer and sniffs a little.
I am petting it.
And
Careful, it's a vicious killer.
If it's a vicious killer, why is it friend-shaped?
it hurts a little because it's not like a well cared pelt. It's like a caked in mud and like this like wet still from the rain. But it is, you are able to kind of like slide your hand through, and it does have almost like a quill characteristic to it. Like if you go on the direction from head to butt, it doesn't hurt you. But if you go in the other direction, it immediately catches your hand and cuts it a little.
Well, we won't do that.
So it doesn't cut, but you feel pain. You feel like, oh, this is not a good idea.
Oh, it's kind of like pine tree stinging you. Like doesn't bleed or anything. It just hurts annoyingly.
You feel that if you went like really hard on the opposite direction, it would cut you because it is sharp.
Yeah, boar hair is no joke.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you do feel that like you can pat it, and it does seem to appreciate it. It doesn't stick around. Like after it eats the mushroom, it goes back. But you don't feel that they considered you a threat to be killed. They tolerate your presence enough that you can pick some of the mushrooms that they're eating.
Do they think we're herbivores?
Manfred, is this one of them miracles of Shalia?
Shrug. I don't know what they can do. I guess being nice is a miracle now.
Berard considers his knowledge and nods.
You see,
Him.
in like for you, Tahatai, as you kind of sneak past, again, like you are in your turf, you just slide into the shadows of the forest, and you just
There he goes, just slithering in there.
you snake.
Watch out!
You get really close to the place. Unless you're hiding from them, your friends would be able to see you.
Yeah, he's just making sure not to alert the boars.
They don't seem to be alarmed by you, especially because the white woman is giving them mushrooms, so they're not really paying attention. They're more focused on the mushrooms.
Do I need to roll for secret signs lizardmen, or would it be readily apparent?
I think that would be a nice roll. You're gonna get information either way. The roll is just gonna be like how much information you.
All right, what's the difficulty?
Could I say average?
Okay.
It's your home turf. Like, it is close to the region you were from. Cool.
Oh, thank God I passed it. All right, 2 success levels.
Woo!
2 successes is excellent. You watch the surrounding area, and you actually find something that is kind of like nested inside the mud, close to one of the forests, like as if something knocked it away, and it kind of like dug. You know when something falls in the mud and it just like kind of just like gets sucked into the mud.
Yeah.
And you pull it back. It's a stone carving that is very recent. Doesn't seem to be something that was like ancient. It seems to be a much more recent. And when I say recent, again, we're talking about Lustria. Recent is up to 100 years old. There is a familiar sign in it. Let me just grab a visual reference for myself. You see the image of something like almost like an S, like one of our vocabularies X, with on the top side a little ball and something twisting to the outside. And usually you would be able to see this, but you wouldn't immediately identify, because this marking like suffered a lot from the weather. This is a mark of Sotek. But this is not put here as which is one of the things you identify. This is not a shrine. It is a warning.
Okay. He's going to put that particular marker back where it should be, probably on top of one of the stones.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to make his way back to the party and say, "Not safe here. Get what need, then leave."
That's okay.
I can live with that.
I just want to make a question quickly. As you do that, do you peer into the well?
He will, but he's going to stay studiously away from it as best he can. He's not going to go like into the water.
No, but you're like peering inside.
Yes, though I have a feeling I may know what's already in there.
You see a pool of water.
Yes.
There are a couple of like water lilies with some beautiful pink and blue flowers. You see a couple of fish actually floating around. There's a hole on one side and there's a hole on another, making a line. But it's weird because it's not an opening. It's filled by something. It's as if there was something going from one side of the well at like the bottom to the other side.
Yeah, well, that's a problem for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And you do identify scales.
Yeah. So yeah, Deatikai will be reiterating with urgency. Must leave.
As Tehetikai is like staring into the pool, I'm just gonna put my jug into it and pull out a whole bunch of water.
Oh. Into what?
Into the pool and pull out a whole bunch of water.
All right.
Fill the jug.
As you put the thing on the water, you hear a screech from like behind you. As you break the surface of the water, the creatures that were behind, these like wild boar things, screech and flee.
Oh.
We must leave.
You hear a rumbling
Puts top on jug.
Time to go.
This thing behind the water moves very quickly for its size. And you see, as you're kind of like putting it up and going back, you see popping out of one of the tunnels as it kind of like slides back, a face of a giant snake that peers from beneath the waters up to you. I'm presuming you flee.
Oh yeah.
Cool. You run, Chehatakai and Aisling, you were closer.
I was
You
gonna
guys
say, the important
start-
question is, does the white woman flee?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
goddammit.
You start running, and you do hear something break the surface of the water behind you. And Berard and Egon, you guys are not like seeing what was happening. You guys just got the feeling because Chehatakai said you should leave. But
Yep, running.
very quickly you notice why. As this gigantic head of a snake leaves the surface of the water and hisses in your direction.
Ah, run! A quite girlish scream comes out of Egon. And we're off.
You guys run. And you see the creature as it leaves, it kind of like hits the ground with a thud. It is large. It is a very, very big creature. And you don't even see most of it as it kind of like just hits the ground with a thud and starts slithering in a direction. I am going to need athletics tests from... I'm going to say because Berard and Egon were kind of far away. You guys don't need to. But Aisling and Chehatakai I'm going to need for both of them. It's going to be a challenging athletics test.
The thing is,
White woman 16.
when you say large snake, depending on how large you're saying, like it could be a number of creatures.
Did you watch Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
Yes, that stupid basilisk thing.
Basilisk?
Yeah, the stupid looking basilisk thing.
Yeah, God, that's not a basilisk. That's a snake.
It's a legless lizard.
Basilisks have 8 legs. Grr!
I got -2.
I don't.
Oh,
have,
God.
Unless
don't
I had
have-
some kind of bonus, but
It is challenging, so unless anyone does anything, that is going to be a failure.
Does
I can sling a rock at the snake.
don't do that?
could I attempt to, as we're running, could I attempt to either acrobatics higher up into the trees or stealth into like the underbrush?
I think you are aware that stealth is probably not going to do much. But I would say you can try to kind of like acrobatics up a tree if you want to. But it is going to be one of your friends is going to have to be successful to help you, because otherwise this is going to be just a failure.
I got you, little
Aisling-
dude.
Yeah, Aisling was successful.
Actually, it was successful in fleeing.
Oh,
Because, if you or Berard can help like succeed in a test,
Acrobatics.
to,
I
like-
meant climb, but yes.
yeah, I got
D&D went
the meaning
D&D
of it.
mode for some reason. All right.
Yeah.
Berard's gonna look around because there's trees and things, and he's gonna try to use outdoor survival to point out a gap that will slow down the snake that Sotek might be able to get through.
All right. Egon, do you have anything in mind?
I'm thinking I'm really not I'm not set up for this situation. Like, other than like a super average outdoor survival, I can't even assist him. Yeah, no.
Probably.
Like, if I had 1 point in it, I definitely would have assisted him there. I mean, oh wow.
Arboreal.
Oh yeah, Arboreal turns it into a +1. Holy crap! Such a good trait to have. Can I? Well, shout encouragements. I'm not sure what else to do here.
You could do like leadership if you wanted to, or you could just do the like very basic grab a rock and chuck it.
I honestly, I think I'm just gonna shout encouragement with a leadership test. I'll make it challenging, since we're in a tense situation. Nope. Nope. Just it is hard to be inspiring when you're fleeing in terror.
Tehetakai, you are able to escape, but not without harm. You are going to take 8 damage to the body, which is going to be kind of like just it misses you with the head, like it misses you with his bite, but it does still hit you with like the full force of the head before you are able to fully climb.
Yeah, I assume that's minus my armor and toughness.
Minus your armor and toughness, but still them.
Okay, how much did you say? 8?
8.
Okay,
It's
so
gonna be 4 probably, because I think that's your. So for the rest of as it hits and like you climb, it looks towards you. It kind of misses. It kind of does. It's not as interested in you. It looks around, and as like most of you are kind of far away into the trees, it just hisses, and then it does a full like. You see, it's weird. It doesn't turn back. It just goes back. Almost like retreats back into the well, but it doesn't turn away from you. And it fully submerges into the water, and after a while, you stop hearing it.
He'll kind of use the tree line to maneuver for a bit just to be safe, but he will make his way back Tehetakai will make his way back further into the jungle, and meet up with the party, later on.
Do we get away?
I think
Tehetakai is still back there.
Backwards.
Tehetakai will kind of climb up on a tree that's a little bit above y'all, and he's going to actually glare down at one person in particular, at Ashling, and say, Zekcho!
Yes, good job, little buddy.
No good! Must be more careful!
Mochai?
He...
Good.
he will quirk his head at you and say, nearly, Tehetakai, nearly end. Must be more cautious. Or die.
Well, let's at least get back to camp.
So what was that creature?
Well, that was a snake.
Big ass snake.
Blessed of Sotek.
Blessed my ass.
Is that why Shalia's miracle didn't work? This thing's blessed of something.
Roll theology.
Tehetakai will kind of, he'll work his way down and say, little creatures, Shoshibiki for snake. We should not have intruded.
What's a Chichibiki?
He's going to point at some of your like rations.
I think he means food.
Well, they just stay there without a pen or nothing.
They drawn by water. Snake then feeds. is the way of things.
Alright. Egon is very much out of breath this whole time. Also, yes.
I'm not trying to update the actor.
Yeah, I don't know why.
What is happening?
Just ignore it. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not touching anything.
What's happening?
That was error message.
You edited or created an NPC, and the game went, "Hey, all you players, you don't have access to update this thing." As a warning.
We better tell you 10,000 times.
Yes.
My apologies.
No, it's all
No
good.
worries.
It doesn't. It's literally just a small little thing at the top.
Alright.
Also, I finished painting my Predator tank.
Next.
Congrats.
Well done.
Right. We should. So I assume we're heading back. Now that we've located a potential water source.
We may have to rethink our options.
Well, one of the big ships come back. We could maybe offload a cannon or two and bring it over.
Egon just mirthlessly laughs at that one. Oh, 1 moment. Yeah, just trying to get up.
How many mushrooms did I get?
How many do you want? There's a bunch of them growing around.
I will take 10.
Okay. Yeah, each of them has the size of almost like a fist, like a closed fist. They are white on this kind of like the stem, and at the head of it is kind of like oval, and it has a darker like gray shade.
Sounds tasty.
You're done with them. Yeah. Write 10 mysterious mushrooms into your inventory, or you know.
Kovu, what are you doing? Stop being stupid.
You guys head back. I'm not gonna do an expedition for the way back. You return, and you do see as Roko, as you come back, Roko is kind of like expanded a little bit of the places. He separated some place for people to sleep, built the fireplace a little bit more with some rocks and stuff. And as you look around, you still see no signs of the Ripper Deck.
At least they're gone. Praise Tal, or
But I'll
whoever.
say this track took most of the day. It's probably going to be beginning of nighttime by now.
Well, do we want to look at the plateau while we have some daylight?
Chazanka's gone ahead. Tatakai need rest. And
All right.
he's gonna be kind of favoring one side over the other. He's got some pretty gnarly bruising.
Mm-hmm.
Since he's blue already, what is his bruises turn? What color are his bruises?
Dark purple and black.
Ugh. Yuck.
Probably some yellows in there too.
Yeah.
I have today learned to not make predictions regarding ecology, so I have no idea.
Alright, so well, Egon is at least gonna go check it out since he's very curious what it looks like in the what little daylight remains. If anyone wants to come with him,
I shall accompany you.
all right. We take a.
Berard will
Does
follow
Berard?
along. Yeah.
All right. We take a nice romantic walk along the beach. The sunset is over there. Everything looks very orange. The heat is starting to die down a smidge. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And we reach the plateau.
I have learned that reptile bruises are indeed black.
Ugh.
Yep.
Goddamn.
You guys walk up to the little plateau. As you said, like the sky is getting this hue of like pink and orange. As you leave the jungle itself, it is much, much better here. The heat is
I do have a
very...
question.
It's very hot still, but there's a lot of wind. Yes.
I would like to look for something similar to an iguana. A chill lizard.
A
know what this is.
non-hostile lizard, you would say.
Yeah, a medium. Well, what we would consider like a mid-size iguana, similar to like a monitor or an iguana.
An iguana like an iguana. Cool. I like that. Yeah, sure.
I was trying to think of the difference in iguana species, but I couldn't think of any.
That's fair. I have been doing that up until now. So I said that the wild boar looks like a wild boar, so I have no place to make fun of anyone. No, do me... I'm gonna say this is probably gonna be a perception check, because I think your auto survival is not very good.
It actually is. It's 42.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you can roll for auto survival then. This is gonna be an average roll, just to kind of like check out the surroundings and see if you find any.
No!
Nope. Just a flat no.
Cool. You actually find one, but then you find out that it actually is not an iguana, but it is a giant butterfly, and then it flies away.
Ooh.
As a butterfly that is the size of a dog, by the way. It is a gigantic.
Oh.
As it stands on the ground, it kind of looks like it folds its wings to look like an iguana, and as you get close, like it opens the wings and flies away.
Victor, what do I know your character as?
Manfred.
Manfred. Did you know that butterflies drink blood?
Egon, aka Manfred, looks very nervous all of a sudden as he watches the butterfly fly away. Like, why does everything have to be so big in this damn place?
Well, not only blood. You can get some that will go and stab your eye in the Drakwald trying to get your tears.
Oh yeah, that too. Quite horrific creatures.
I hate this place.
I hate this conversation.
You know, people often assume that bees and wasps are the scary things that you run into. They never
What?
They never think of the other creatures, like the butterflies.
I haven't been in the Drakwald.
Exactly.
Well, neither have I. I don't think I ever want to be in the near future. Looks at giant forest. Oh, balls. Well, after huffing it for for a few minutes, we make it on top of the plateau. Does it look any different?
The entrance of the cave is coated in black because like the dust and the soot and the smoke. You can clearly see that there's a marking of it, and from outside, it looks a little smoky still. Like it looks like there's still a little bit of smoke that is hanging inside the cave.
Okay, so like embers still like burning like slightly. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of smoke that is still like kind of rising, and it doesn't have much to go until it finally leaves.
Well, at least we killed everything in that damn cave, so that's good. Egon has a thought. Do we want to move the camp into that cave? Since it's way bigger and not full of horrendous life trying to kill us?
That might be a good idea, but things might be looking for that cave now that it's empty, like us.
Wait, like us?
Oh no, what I mean is, creatures might be wanting to move into that cave now that it's empty.
Right, looking for us. My bad. Well, in that case, cleft it is. Egon starts thinking, cleft, sweet cleft.
But you do notice that there is a bunch of there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of like signs of movement around. Do you guys, by the way, do you guys look at it from the outside, or do you guys go into the place where?
Oh, absolutely not. We're still outside of it.
Okay. Yeah, it seems that at least from what you can identify from the outside, because you guys have seen tracks of blood toads and things like that. Like you know how they look. They seem to have left. But the ones where you see signs of them leaving, and there's no Ripperdactyls on the horizon. So it is one of those things of like they seem to have left, but the ants and the fungi, unless you go deep, you have no way of confirming that they left.
Hmm.
Wonder if any of those big toads are edible.
I was thinking the same thing.
Considering what eats them, I'd rather not try. Who knows? They might be attracted to our sweat or something.
That is possible.
They say you are what you eat, and I'd rather not be eaten by those things.
That can't be true.
There we go.
Or else everything would be an herbivore. And then nothing would eat anything else. Logic.
Shrug.
Well, no, not herbivore. We'd be grass and like leaves and stuff.
Hmm.
Do plants eat? Well, some of them do. Is that how you get back to big monsters? Like, you got plants that eat people, and they become people, and the people are eating, like, cows, and they become cows. Brad will shake his head. I think that's a dumb idea.
I think we should leave that for the people in the universities. I don't think we're paid enough to think about these things.
But you can get paid for thinking about stupid things like that.
Yep. As far as I know, the Collegium Theologica does nothing but think all day, and someone has to be paying them, right? Crazy idea, that. Alright. So, after our little philosophical jaunt, we actually, before we leave, Egon does take like a few steps closer to the cave, like trying to see if it's like filled with smoke or if it's just like tiny little like wisps, like that are floating, well, that are like moving along the ceiling.
A little less than a full day has passed, so it has some wisps of smoke on the top. It's not like billowing, it's just like there's a little bit of smoke that is still coming out of the campfires that is lighting it up, but it doesn't seem to be like full of smoke.
Alright. I'm gonna pull out the lantern. And actually, hold on, do I have a tinderbox, or was... Oh wait, does Berard have a tinderbox perchance?
No, but Berard has made a fire bow.
Oh, well, in that case...
Some rotting bit of tree, and he can start a fire.
Sweet. Well, in that case, Egon asks him for just the smallest little, like, kindling of fire so that he can light the lantern. Because Egon has taken it to heart his previously wasteful usage of his matches, and he'll make sure that those are only for emergencies.
What do you want the test for the outdoor survival to see if I actually can get something lit in this soggy mess?
I'm going to say because you have time, because there's no like press for time. You are able to do it. It takes a while because it is very humid, and again, you're not used to it. But I'm not gonna ask for a roll. It's like failing the roll would not progress us forward.
No.
So just I'll say that it takes a while, but you are able to put
Alright.
some fire and light the lantern.
The lantern lights up, and Egon puts his hood up just to make sure nothing like falls on him or anything like that. And with that, he bids his companions follow, and we step inside the now torched cave.
Is someone going along?
Yep, I'm
Roger's
walking
going.
right beside him.
Okay. You're both going inside. Cool. You walk inside, and a lot of it is... As you start getting inside, it is a little difficult to breathe. Probably because, like, there's still some smoke, and probably because, with the fire kind of, like, eating away at the oxygen, inside is not the easiest, and you do see that as you get closer to the fires themselves, you do see that the walls and the roof are all covered in soot, and you are able to kind of like go down. Are you going all the way down?
As far as we can go without
Can I
without
find any
it getting
of
hard to breathe.
Can I find any of the toasted toads?
Oh no.
Give me a perception check, actually.
Yeah, you know what? I'll throw a perception on it too.
Gerard will assist.
Oh crap! I failed horribly.
Oh, if you assist, I actually pass. Well, I get a 0.
I can't assist.
Just a second, guys.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da, finding charred toads.
Ninja toads.
A delicacy in some parts of the world.
True.
Wee. Ha ha ha. I hear the Bretonians love them.
And you can find frog legs in a lot of the southeast U.S.
Oh really?
Down
Yeah,
the bayou.
they're kind of all.
I'm back.
They're even up north. You can find them.
Come get you some frog legs. Yeehaw! No, sorry, that
It's
was
not-
wrong part.
it's
Wrong
not-
part of the
It
country.
would not be yeehaw.
No, it would not.
I mean, kind of though.
Probably some local
we're
variation.
Listen, we're all backwards, but we're not. We don't have the same colorful, fun little phrases. Anyway, sorry. Carry on, GM.
No problem. Again, I'm not gonna. It was a fascinating conversation nonetheless. You check out the sides of the cave and stuff. The lantern is not perfect. It doesn't. It creates a lot of shadows just because of the form, like how the cave was built. And you do notice as you arrive closer to the bottom, you do see as the fungi. Built is the wrong term.
Yeah, I was like, someone built this cave? I'm like, we need to get the heck out of here.
No, how
That
it
moth was hiding a lot.
how it was like created. I think.
Yeah, formed is
Formed,
probably
yeah, formed.
the way to go.
Yeah, formed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
Due to how the cave was formed, it doesn't have like it is not the easiest to traverse. But you get to a point where you remember that there was moss growing on the ground, and it doesn't seem to be growing here anymore. No. As you arrive at the end of the cave, you do see that the cave is barren. It is the ground has a couple millimeters of water. You see water kind of pooling in different places.
So tiny puddles.
Tiny puddles. As probably something was here, but you don't see the moss, and you don't see the ants anymore. And you also don't see any frogs. You just see this barren cave with a muddy ground.
So no charred animals at all.
No chat.
Yeah, dang it.
Dang it.
Wonder if those frogs eat their own.
I mean,
more than likely.
if my theory is true, then that must be. Thinks cannibalism is is why everything is the way it is. Probably a bad idea.
Back
So-
to your things are what you eat theory again.
I mean, that sounds like something that would support it, no?
I ain't ate nobody, and I'm still a person.
We'll see about that. He says half jokingly.
That's not ominous at all.
Yep. Putting a curse on me, Brad will
Look,
stand up to his full 5 foot 1 inch height.
Egon droops. His posture terrible. He still stands like half a hat taller than him. Look, I've been cursed by crabs. I don't know what to tell you.
How can you get cursed by crabs? They're crabs.
Well,
Every now and then people come in with them. It's not really a surprise.
not those kind of crabs.
What?
I mean the crabs we fought back on the way here.
Wait, how do you get cursed by crabs?
Well, I did. I don't know how to explain it. It's a feeling.
A feeling.
I feel like I've been cursed by crabs.
Berard slowly takes a half step back from you. Of course you do. And then he looks at Ashling and just kind of nods his head in Manfred's direction.
Oh yeah, Manfred isn't even looking at anyone when this is happening. He's still like examining our the efforts of our conquest with the lantern, being like, one small victory to begin, to mark our arrival. And then he's once the whole conversation is over, he just turns around and says, "All right, let's go back. Rocco and Twintail are probably waiting for us."
Hopefully they didn't get eaten by a turtle.
I don't think the turtle can reach him.
I certainly hope
Speaking
not.
of which, was the turtle gone when we came back?
Yeah, it is. Well, it's far away. It's not gone. You can still see on the horizon because the beach extends for a long time.
Okay, so it moved. So it's been slowly moving away.
Yeah.
From our position. Okay, yeah. Retroactively, Egon gave it a little wave in the distance with a little "bye, turtle."
You see, and also you do feel as you're getting as you get back to the beach, you do feel that the rhythmic beating, kind of thump that you felt, was from the turtle itself. The turtle has almost like a wider tail, and as it stops, it keeps thumping the ground. You don't really have enough knowledge to why it's doing that, but you do feel it.
All right, we make our way back to the cleft.
You guys meet up there. Sotek is Tehetakai is not Sotek. Tehetakai is resting. You guys, Rocco.
Pet's resting lizard.
Tehetakai. Tehetakai, you notice that Rocco doesn't really stay close to you. I don't know how much Tehetakai recognizes that, but to you, Sotek, as the player, Rocco is staying as far away from you as he can in the very closed off space you guys are in this little club. Yeah, so I don't think you find him threatening. Sometimes he's looking you up a little bit longer, and then you kind of open your eye, look at him, and then he goes to do something else. But never threatening, more curious or afraid. Don't it? Cool. You guys go back. What is your plan for the next couple of days?
What's the name of the guy that's with us?
Rocco.
Rocco, would you come here?
Yeah. What is it?
Can you eat this mushroom?
Oh, look, don't. He's been through a lot. Don't put that on him.
I technically can.
I saw a bunch of pigs eating these earlier. I assume that they can be consumed by us, since pigs share a lot of similarities with us. So I was wondering if you could try this. If you get sick, I can treat you, don't worry.
Are you using me as a test subject?
Look,
very much so.
Egon moves in between the two, facing Ashley, and says, "I'll do it. I'm much younger than Rocco is."
Okay, only take a small bite, though.
All right. Egon holds up the mushroom and is like, "Can we like cook it or something? Never been a fan of raw vegetables."
Oh yes, I could boil it. That's a good idea.
Well, if you give me one of them, I can put it and try to lay a trap on that trail and catch one of them to eat.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll hand you 3 of them.
The idea of boiled mushrooms sounds disgusting. I have no idea.
I mean,
It's soup. It's how we made soup.
It's mushroom soup.
I've never eaten mushroom soup, so I'm like,
oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, cream of mushroom soup is absolutely amazing.
I'll be right back.
All right, sure.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want?
So I'll go through my trappings really quickly. I'm gonna grab my bowl out. I'm gonna cut up the mushrooms inside there. I'm gonna throw them into the pan with some water, and I'm just gonna fry them up.
Okay.
Use some of the flour to thicken it up.
Exactly. I'm glad you know why I brought flour with me.
Hey, nailed it.
Okay.
Oh, do we have any more of those eggs?
Probably
Presumably
not.
they were all consumed.
Yeah, probably would all be consumed.
Well, there are still those turtle egg. Nope, not doing that.
Right then, I'll fluff them up and fry them.
Okay.
No. We're not taking the turtle eggs.
Yeah, no, we didn't take the turtle eggs. We just fried mushrooms.
Yeah, I imagine you floured up the mushrooms and then you're frying the mushrooms. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I don't think.
Now this should get rid of any and all toxins on them, and kind of most of its flavor.
Now, Trade Cook would normally be here, but since we're not going for flavor, really, it's more like making it making it edible and not killing us.
This is something that everyone should be able to do. This isn't like a complicated recipe.
Yeah, no, I don't think rolling is necessary.
No.
So, okay. So, and who is going to taste it?
Hopefully it's not poisonous.
What?
Well, if it is poisonous, the poison would have been boiled out of it.
Yeah, fair. But Egon did volunteer, and he is going to accept a bowl of this mushroom soup. And
No, it's fried mushroom. That was boiled
fried
first.
mushroom? Oh, right. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to taste good.
No, probably
It's just
not.
going to taste like a plant.
All right, he takes a bit of it, puts it in his mouth, chews on it. It's very
Tasty.
what's it called? It's very mushy, is what I was the word that I was thinking of, and doesn't taste great. Not a lot of flavor to it, but he swallows the bite and looks himself over, holds up his hands. One hand that isn't holding the bowl.
Ooh.
Well, I haven't exploded or anything.
Well, Madar said it usually takes a couple hours.
Oh, great.
Well, when you eat a tiny bit, and then the next day, if you haven't died, then it's probably safe to eat.
Yeah. Apparently it takes quite a while to boil out toxins, but there are some toxins that don't boil out. And if you have one of those, you're super dead. Those ones are nasty.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Speaking of that, out of pure curiosity, roll me an endurance check.
Oh boy.
Just
Coco,
a
what are you
challenging
doing?
one. Just to check.
Alright, I do not have great... I have slightly above average endurance. Ah!
There's
That
a comment
is-
in chat that's absolutely amazing. There's mushroom for improvement.
Let's throw a reroll at that. Why not? Nope, that was even worse. Never mind.
Ooh.
Alright. In that case, it very much could get worse. Alright.
You eat it. It's a very tough mushroom overall. It's not a very soft mushroom. It's very tough. Cooking and frying doesn't do that much for it in regards to like the texture of it. It is mushy as you described, but just because it gains almost like a leathery texture to it as you eat.
Like eating shoes.
If you have ever, I have never eaten shoe, to be fair, but
Well, like the joke, well, quote unquote joke is like eating shoe leather.
Yeah,
Tastes
kind of like that.
Tastes like nothing. Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah. But it is like, it is food. It kind of like falls in your stomach. At first, nothing really happens. And then you start hearing the rumbling.
Oh no. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
You hear this like little rumbling on your stomach. But it's fine. Like it is a weird food. Do you eat anything else?
I go and grab. I go and grab some hardtack, and I start like swishing it like around in the mushroom. In the cooked mushroom, and I like take a bite of that with the hardtack, which doesn't like none of this sounds tasty in the slightest.
This sounds like British food.
Yeah, pretty much does.
You dip.
Ooh,
you dip
got some of that jelly. Oh, go ahead.
You dip this piece of bread that looks more like a tile or a brick into this mushy, gray, bubbling, creamy mushroom soup. Doesn't smell great, honestly, and it doesn't feel great. But it might be hunger. Like you're hungry, so you start hearing your stomach a little. So you eat some more. Eat some hardtack. Then you start feeling it. It's a cramp, most of all. And what you're feeling to you as I don't know if you have any allergies or like intolerances.
Sadly, well, I say sadly no, but probably luckily no.
You luckily no, yeah. You start feeling the stuff from your stomach as it doesn't really... your stomach is starting to feel that it cannot absorb whatever it is. So
I've had food poisoning before, if it's anything like that.
It's not really food poisoning. It's not that you're eating toxins. Like, luckily for you, luckily, this is not a poisonous mushroom. This is not something that will immediately like kill you or give any symptoms. But it is just something that, as someone mentioned in chat, your stomach doesn't really know how to digest it. So as you eat, it starts kind of like lodging in your stomach. You start feeling a little cramped, and your stomach starts feeling a little heavy and stiff. And then after a while, you do feel the need that it needs to get out. A little bit of
Oh, boy.
a little bit explosive in a way.
Well, I rush out to wherever we've set up well, we've probably dug a little hole somewhere, but yes, I rush off to the hole.
It's not pretty. Doesn't feel good. It doesn't
play-
sound good.
I play a little rear end symphony.
It's a little nightmarish of an experience.
I'm gonna look at the rest of the mushrooms and just be like, here, you should take these for hunting those boars.
All right. Sounds like that's a good idea.
I think the sounds of whatever that is will scare away any predators tonight.
Ah, yes. The roaring from the backside.
Alright, so you get 9 strange mushrooms.
All right.
Alrighty. Well,
Oh, and I am just gonna properly filter my water.
Okay.
alright. Egon comes back having used way more leaves than is probably pertinent. But he comes back and he's just gonna lie down and ask Aisling for some water to drink before he goes to sleep.
Yeah, sorry about that. I really thought that would work.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. Oh, my stomach.
I'll give you some water.
Gluck gluck. All right. He drinks a good mouthful, and then just goes to sleep immediately, sort of bundled, like lying in a semi-fetal position.
Yeah. You would imagine that's like for some creatures this is a very viable and like easy food to find, but probably like humans don't have they don't have the necessary organs to like digest this. Maybe it has some use, but you don't really deal with like herbology or anything like that, so you can't really think of something that, it could be a useful mushroom for other usages, but you don't have the knowledge to know that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So Berard needs to set the traps, and that's probably it for tonight.
I'm just gonna wait until we rest for the evening so I can roll for recover some wounds.
Ah, yes.
I think this would be a good time for us to take a little break.
Oh yeah, it is.
Excellent. Yes,
then-
I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, because then we
Woo, I didn't kill anybody. Yeah.
Woo!
You
And
tried.
then we can. Yeah.
I tried several times.
If you roll bad enough on a heal test, you might kill Sotek.
Let's make 15 minutes. So at the
Yeah.
end of the hour.
Yeah, 15 if we need it. Everyone just drop a message in Discord when you're back.
I'll stay
Alrighty.
here. All right. Wait for you guys.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna hang around.
Okay. Chat is listening to our tomfoolery.
How y'all hanging in there, chat? Doing good? Good. Yeah, actually, while we're doing this, I can work on releasing... I forget if I don't think we've uploaded the Lustria episode, have we? No.
Yeah, I need more. I need more enemy within campaigns.
Have you been watching the Have you been watching the one by Andy Hall? It is super good. Sorry, Andy Law. God, I get them mixed up. There's too many Andys.
I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Andy Lisk told me another one. Apparently, it was a very popular name at the time.
Whose channel it was?
Say what?
Whose channel it was? You mentioned.
Hold on, I'll send you a link.
Yeah, that would be great. I also need to DM more, because I only have 2 tables currently. I need to find more.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to start watch parties for the Andy Law campaign, because I think it'll be fun to just hang with people and play it. Here, I'll just post it in the out of character chat.
Yeah.
I was surprised it didn't start like a 30-minute stream and then raid into the channel when they started.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be a good thing to do. I haven't been. I haven't streamed too much lately. I've been mostly wrapped up just trying to get YouTube videos out.
Oh, I thought you had disappeared doing other stuff.
Well, I had about 2 weeks that were lost to just being, or well, more like 3 weeks to between my brother's wedding and being sick, and then Sadie's been sick, so I've been having to take her to the vet and deal with all that crap. But then I've just been, I don't know, I've just been really kind of grinding, or like in a good way, really enjoying working on YouTube scripts lately.
Congratulations.
I need to watch some campaigns. Also, great videos on the predictions for the DLCs. That's pretty good.
Sadie will be all right. She's just having some stomach problems. She'll be okay though.
That's good.
That reminds me, I'm going to go check on her real quick. I will be right back.
That's that I need to find people, but I do have a big project that I want to work on for Warhammer. It's gonna be complicated, and it takes a lot of money.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. I wanted to do a bigger campaign, for like a streamed campaign for Warhammer, with like custom character art and some stuff to make it more interactable, and then post stuff on like YouTube and TikTok and some other stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. It's expensive. It's fun though.
Yeah, because I really like campaigns that have like moving character arts. I think I mentioned this a couple of times or back then. Have like a pretty layout and such. But
is it? Can I go ahead and roll my rest check?
Yeah, you got.
Ooh, very nice. Hey, back to full.
Hey, whoa, holy crap. That was really good.
That was a really good check.
Now,
hey Sadie, what are you doing?
I'm not gonna.
What are you doing, big girl?
What's it called? Was that full-blown diarrhea that Egon just had?
Yes.
Did he take a wound from that?
I'm gonna say no, because you then go to rest afterwards.
Fair enough.
It's just more. It's not like it's not a lot, and not enough to like dehydrate you. As I said, like you weren't poisoned.
Well,
Just enough that you feel that didn't do much good for your system.
I can't believe I'm arguing this, but whenever you have the flux and you gotta go, it's you get toughness bonus rounds, and then you take a wound from it. But if you're not gonna damage me, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I thought that was just with the bloody flux.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's not just like any old diarrhea.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I have,
you gotta have the soul crippling kind.
Yeah, I have lactose intolerance.
Oh god.
So it is one of those things of like, it's just a personal experience. Whenever you eat something that has lactose, it doesn't kill you. It just feels bad for the couple of minutes, and then you go back to your life.
It doesn't kill you. It just makes you wish you did.
Yeah, it just makes you wish you did. Like sometimes you have like overflow of it if you eat too much, but otherwise it's just a bad experience. It's just one of those things of like, you shouldn't base your diet on that, but it doesn't kill you.
I'm so glad I'm not lactose intolerant.
Yeah, one of the things that is very important for you guys to remember as you're arriving here is a very common thing that happens to people, which is the traveler sickness. I don't know.
Montezuma's Revenge.
I don't remember the exact name because we have in Portuguese it's just called like traveler sickness, or well, it's in Portuguese, but it translates to traveler sickness, which is like whenever you go to a different country, the food is usually so different that your body takes a while to get used to eating it.
Oh,
and meanwhile,
I know what this is.
It just does explosive diarrhea until you get used to it.
Oh yeah, do you want to know what's happening during that?
Sure.
It's your gut bacteria flushing itself out and replacing itself with the local stuff. So yeah, your microbiome is literally like, oh god, we have no like we have nothing to adapt to this. We need to just eject the entire system, and then you slowly keep eating and hydrating until your microbiome has replaced itself in your gut.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of wild.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically that. So that's something that is going to be. I'm not gonna roleplay every single moment, but as you begin to eat like local food and not the rations that you came with, that's going to be one of the things that
you gotta go through some adjustments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Until we find those potatoes, those lovely, lovely potatoes.
Yeah, until you get used to it and then start eating more local stuff. And
I'm trying to remember. I don't have potato. Yeah, I think potatoes have been brought back to the old world at this point. I mean, if pumpkins have, then potatoes have to. Because
I am 100% sure there are potatoes in the old world.
It's one of those things you just kind of have to wait, because there's a reference to tomatoes and corn, so you just kind of have to accept.
I've seen the references to the tomatoes, mostly because they were taken back to Talea to make, well, pizza and and pasta sauce. So if they have that by now, then yeah, they definitely would have brought them back at that point. Because it's been like 1,000 years, right? Like, there's been expeditions to the New World for a millennium now. I would be kind of shocked if they didn't have that stuff.
Yeah, pretty much everything that I would say we're pretty used to has already made its way over.
Yeah, okay.
To the image of the 5 farmers, the only ones who have potatoes laughing as they sell them for gold crowns for their rarity.
Yes.
My headcanon is that a lot of it is due to high elves, because like high elves kind of like gather stuff from all around the world because just like they're fun patrol, and then some of it they kind of trade with the Empire, and then the Empire is like, this is great, this is awesome, potatoes. So especially things like tomatoes and corn. Not everything sticks, but you know, a lot of things do exist. I don't remember what adventure, but I think there's a 4E adventure that does make reference to corn. Not corn the god, but corn the vegetable. Vegetable? Is corn a vegetable?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I don't remember which one it is. I think it's the Halloween one.
Wait, the Hell Rides to Halt or the other one? Because there's two.
The one with the headless horseman.
Yep, that's Hell Rides to Halt. Oh, such a good adventure. Oh, I love it.
I was one of the playtesters for that one.
I want to run that adventure so bad, but it needs such a specific time of year. I'm like, none of my players are at any point are even close to either Hexensnacht or Geheimnisnacht.
Yeah.
And no, the Bokenhaven incident doesn't count.
Yeah. Speaking of that, by the way, on the now going forward, as you guys are kind of waiting. Do you guys want to roleplay day by day, or do we kind of
I
think now might be the time to start time skipping.
We can time skip to when something kind of more prevalent happens.
Yeah, honestly, we might the best, the only thing that we might be interested in is seeing if Berard's traps actually catch anything, and if we're lucky on that front, then we can time skip because we will have gotten enough food to last us for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And all we're really doing is waiting until the ships return, and then we can actually start time skipping even more, because the colony is going to need just so much timber. Just it would just be days of going towards the forest, chopping down some trees, stripping them of the branches, and then poking them in the ground after the end has been sharpened, and just keep doing that over and over. And ditches, so many ditches that need to be dug. It's gonna be the first few weeks of the colony are just gonna be tedious manual labor and not much else, unless you, of course, want to interject with some extra stuff in between.
I think a lot of it is going to be because I have not provided you with the buildings and stuff with the list that I made for the homebrew stuff. So a lot of it is just going to be some time skips and some small narrations, and most of all is going to be as this is happening, what is Berard doing, what is Egon doing, how are you reacting to these events, just because now it's an interesting moment in time where some decisions need to be made. We're gonna get to it. I just wanted to know if you wanted to roleplay, if you wanted to do some micro stuff where we could jump.
Only if there's something kind of interesting happening with it, I think.
Because
is Alexis back?
Oh, go ahead. Babe, unmute.
It is time to resume.
It is time to resume.
God damn it! Get back here.
She has failed. The task has been failed successfully.
One moment.
They're both muted.
There you go. Apologies, technical difficulties.
Hello.
So, coming back to it, you guys rest throughout the night. I'm going to say, due to the nature of it, you still have enough resources. They are not dwindling. But if you want to do a set trap test, Berard.
All right.
I am going to say...
I'd be happy to do a forage for food roll, if necessary, as well.
We'll check on that. Because if the trap is successful, probably going to be Mostly enough. Make a set trap test. It's gonna be average because you have the time, and I'm gonna add a +20 due to the mushroom, because you know they do eat the mushroom. So it's gonna be a +40, so easy check for a set trap.
Oh,
Very nice.
that is really
Awesome.
good.
You, actually, I'll ask you. Give me a description of how the trap looks, or what is, if you don't want to give description of the trap itself, like how does it operate? What is the objective of it?
So I look for a spot between a tree and some kind of bush that has sturdy trunks coming out of it, and I set up a snare, and instead of anchoring the snare to the tree, I have the rope loop around and into the bush on the other side, split the rope, and hang one above where the boar would go and one below, and tie both ends of those to a stake that's spiked, so that when it catches on to the snare and it pulls on the snare to escape, it pulls the spike that's there into it.
Awesome. You hear this kind of like snap after, I'll say a day, because like they do walk around here, but they have a giant territory. But after a day or two, you do hear this like very loud snap and this screech that is very quickly interrupted. And you find that indeed the trap seems to have worked. You grab yourself a very, it's not a large one. It is kind of like a medium-sized one. It's a little less than a meter across. But it is enough for you to start gathering some food and start eating. It should provide a food for you guys for a while.
Gerard
Woo!
comes back to the cleft, a huge grin on his face, and one of those boars on his shoulder. I think we're gonna be eating not biscuits tonight.
Ah, praise Tal.
Quack quack. Very good.
Now, if only we had wine to go with it.
Yeah, if only.
I don't think that's lying around.
Hetakai, if you are also foraging,
Oh my!
you would
Oh my God! Can you find some alcoholic fruit? Oh, that would be great.
No.
Aw,
I'm not giving the warm bloods alcoholic beverages.
boo.
I'll say this. I'm not gonna make you roll just because, like, you have to, as I said, you have the time. Foraging stuff. What would Tehetakai bring back? What is the type of food, like natural food, that you would bring
He
back?
would mainly be going for things that he does not need to explicitly like kill to save on like potential dangers. So he'll probably be going for a lot of like insects and grubs that he knows are going to be like high in protein.
Ooh.
That they tend to like raise in the insect farms back in the Temple City.
Mm-hmm. You bring back this. You bring back this large. I'll say this like. It is a little bit like a coconut, but it is oval, like shaped like an egg, but it looks like a coconut. It has like a little bit of a hairy outside.
We put the lime in the coconut.
And as you bring it, and you kind of like crack it open, and you see it is made, it is formed, like the inside has a little bit of slimy composure. It is full of these like large cylindrical grubs, like these very large insects that at first don't seem to be insects. They seem to be like pieces of a fruit, but then as like you wiggle it a little, they start moving by themselves. It is very new to do. It is delicious. kind of disgusting a little bit.
He is going to enjoy loudly slurping up grubs. Slimy yet satisfying.
Cool.
Anyone
else
Good.
foraging?
Ooh.
I will look for fruits, weird plants, and a lizard.
Keeping on the lizard one.
I'm still trying to find that lizard.
Make an average outdoor survival. Egon, you were gonna say something?
Yes, I am not going to forage for plants or anything like that. I am instead going to see if I can find any mussels in shells on the beach.
Woo!
Oh, kind of like on the beach. Okay, cool idea.
Yeah. I just remembered because I love going with my family every year to collect mussels. It's free food. It's free real estate.
I will be honest, in being the dungeon master, or the game master here, I have never done that, but if you say so, then that is true.
Oh yeah, it's great. It just lies on the beach and you just pick it up and then you boil it for like 2 hours and then you eat it.
Awesome.
It's like slurping up like snot. It's disgusting.
Oh, it tastes so good. Love it.
No, it doesn't.
What is the translation of mussel?
Gross.
Oh
nasty.
yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, it's delicious.
No, it isn't. Don't encourage
agreed.
this.
Nope. GM said delicious. That's where we're going.
It looks like someone snot rocketed into a freaking shell. It's gross looking.
The hedge guy's over there with his grub fruit.
It is.
Manfred's slurping down shells, and Berard's just hovering over his pig like, this is the only safe haven.
There are quite a few mussels are quite common in South America. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, it is. I've eaten a lot of it. There's a recipe where you cook them and you not only eat, but you also drink the water that they're made on. You put some lemon and some spices, like some pepper, and you drink. It's very delicious.
Oh, I'm going by the Icelandic recipe where you just boil them with some salt for 2 hours and then you eat them. That's it. Like,
awesome.
Not much flavor, mind you, but they sure go down good.
This is all gross.
Even just for the sake of it, roll me. You're by the beach, so I'm gonna say an easy outdoor survival. Just because this is indeed something you would find here. It is not hard.
Did I find my lizard?
I'll get there. Okay.
Oh wow, that's
Yep.
No, you know what? Nope, I'm throwing a fortune point at that. Want the mussels?
Really wants the mussels.
Man versus wild.
Exactly.
You find a couple of them.
Better drink my own piss.
You find a lot of like mussels. A lot of them are like spread around. Not really hard to find. You're not really sure how many of them would be cooked in a similar way, but like again, you're cooking them for 2 hours, so should probably be fine.
Yeah.
You also find some very large, and when I say very large, by the way, it's like 15 centimeters across oysters on the beach.
Oh, right.
They seem to be like gigantic to a point where you try. Again, I'm guessing here because of your description. You try like clocking one of them open, and it does not want to open.
Can I use
certainly
the crowbar that Ashlyn got off the ship?
Wow, she did get a crowbar.
She did.
Yeah.
The most useful tool in any RPG game.
She may be suicidal around animals, but she comes prepared.
She is very. I am very proud. Yeah, good job.
I am very prepared to meet my demise.
This is pretty much Alexis in every game she plays.
Can I get a crowbar? Yes. All right, this is gonna be a good game.
Amazing. You grab a crowbar. You kind of like put this like gigantic oyster close to a stone, to a rock, just to give it enough of an anchorage.
Yeah, and then I pin it with my leg and just put the crowbar in and heave.
It is hard. It is but you have times. I'm not gonna make you roll for it, but it is
it's
extensive. Like it is fatiguing. But after
Man versus Wild.
You crack it open and you see the inside. It is beautifully shiny. It is this massive oyster, kind of like still alive, so it is still like moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Victor, do you want to hear the word that triggers my accent the most?
Oyster.
Oyster.
And yeah, you find yourself some food. It is gonna take a while, but to like cook and get used to them. But they are there.
Hey, it's protein.
It is protein. Ashley, you go looking for fruits and lizards. Luckily for you, lizards do enjoy eating fruits. So, honestly, it's not a hard task. Usually when you find one, you also find the other. You go looking for them, and you find this tree that has these massive things on them. It's like how do I describe it to someone that has never seen it? It is again the size of like a way bigger, but it is kind of like the look of like an ostrich egg. But it is large and looks to be kind of spiky. It has a lot of little dots that are kind of these very small spikes on them. I'm gonna send an image actually because I don't.
I'm gonna reach for my crowbar and notice that it's not in my bag and just be like, where is it? Okay, I'll take out my.
I feel like I've seen that before somewhere.
And after a while, as you're looking, it's quite high, by the way. As you kind of look at it, it's quite like a high tree. You see that one of them fully moves, and you see some of them are fruits, but some of them are lizards. They are lizards that look the same. They have like it's almost like a shell, almost like an armadillo shell that is on their back that they can hide inside, and with their tail they hook onto the branch of the tree, and then after a while they kind of like undo that and move around. They have like these large beady black eyes, and their face and neck is like red, and then it goes into this spiky green of their backs, and the tail is very cylindrical, like small and cylindrical. It's not like wide and then it shortens. It's the same length for the whole size of it.
Armadillo chameleons.
Yeah, this like it has almost like an armadillo, a chameleon look to it.
I shall pick up said creature.
Roll me and charm animal. Charm animal.
Come here, little lizard. Come here.
Yeah, charm.
Who's a good little lizard?
Charm animal.
Who's a good little
average.
lizard? You're a good little lizard.
Holy crap.
I love you.
You see one of them feeding. You're able to grab like a branch and you knock one of the fruits off and you open it. The inside of it, it's kind of hard to open, but inside of it is some small. I'll actually show you how it is, but it is like, you know how you can open a pineapple and then you can pick it apart, and it has these like long parts to it on the inside.
Yeah.
This fruit looks the same. It has this like yellowish color on the inside. It's a little silky. It has some goo on it, but it also divides itself in these little pieces. I posted an image on the inside.
Yep, I'm looking at it.
Oh yeah, looks delicious.
I'll open the door for my wife very quick. I'll be right back.
Well, I got me a lizard, so I'm happy.
And fruit.
And fruit. I don't know how many of these things I can keep getting, but I'm going to keep getting them.
Probably a bunch. He described an entire tree of them, so... And
Yeah.
lizards.
I don't think it's a Durin.
They're more spiky, but that was my first thought.
Yeah, like, I've seen a smaller version of this, but these things look, like, really big.
They are huge.
Yeah, what are these called?
In Portuguese, they're called jaca.
There you go.
Oh, well,
In
we'll ask
English-
Hezekiah, and he says it in that.
Zaka. Yeah.
In English, they would be jackfruit.
Oh,
That-
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay. I've
They
tried
have a
those.
visual similarity to. It's not a very big similarity, but I have seen people refer to it as close to durian fruit.
yeah, that's what someone in chat had guessed. That's
Yeah.
Durian is in Asia. Jaca or jackfruit is in South America.
All right, sweet. So
Yeah.
we've gotten ourselves like really good food as far as we're concerned.
we are surviving okay so far. Yes.
You have some boar
Yeah.
meat. You have some fruit. You have
How
a
many
little
fruits do I
lizard.
get?
I would say, actually, probably. How much is your strength bonus?
Because I am going to shake the ever-living crap out of this tree.
They are heavy.
That's even better, because they will fall out into my backpack.
How
My
much?
Roll dodge.
strength- my strength bonus is
3.
only a 2.
Oh.
You probably would be able to carry 3 of them, but it is extremely heavy. Like probably 1 in your hands and 1 in your backpack, and that's probably it.
Manfred! Come here!
What? Comes running.
Come here!
All right. Calm yourself. Don't attract
Look
the
what I
entire
found.
jungle.
And I hold the lizard in front of you.
Get that thing away from me.
Egon,
It's
make
so
me an animal
cute.
check. Charm animal.
Oh boy, I'm not good at this. 1 moment.
Average.
Yep. Let's see. Oh wow! Actually, I did make it.
It quickly, as Ashlyn shows you, it quickly looks at you and blinks its eyes and kind of moves, gets on its hind legs, and looks at you curiously.
Does
Oh
it
my God, it
move
gives
its
you-
eyes? Does it move its eyes independently?
Yes.
Oh, it's creepy. Get away from me.
I like it. I'm keeping it.
Luckily, Aisling found the one chill creature in Lustria.
No, I found 2 of them.
Wait, which is the other one?
32.
It has its pouchy. By the way, as you look at it, it does have these. When lizards have underneath their mouths, they have these pouches. Down
Oh
there?
yeah, it's got like
Yeah.
a little paunch. Yeah.
Yeah, it has these little pouch, and it kind of it reaves very quickly as you arrive, and there are spikes that grow from it, and then as it kind of chills down, they retract, and it looks to you very in a curious way.
Ill creature, eh?
It does as all of you. I wouldn't probably say that to them, but you start seeing that Hezekiah does look like a lizard because you see some of the way it behaves is a little similar to the Hezekiah.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
just
climb
the
up
way
this
it
tree
moves
and
its
get some
head.
of these fruit.
Do we not just shake them out of the tree?
I mean, we could do that too.
All right, shake.
Also, did you take my crowbar?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hands it back.
Oh no, hang on to it.
Oh, okay. I was just using it to open up some, clams.
That makes sense.
Awkward silence. All right. So I grabbed like what three more fruit because I don't have a backpack.
How much is your strength bonus? Oh, you don't have
3.
Probably you'll be able to carry 2 because like one of each arm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Massive.
Yeah. All right. We grab the jackfruit and we head back to the cleft.
Trying to.
Tahetakai!
Fine.
Tahetakai!
Twin tail.
He will come slithering out and appear on, like, climb to the top of the crag so he can see the two of you.
Look what I found! And I hold the lizard up.
I found your nephew.
I not know this word.
I'm sure Egon said something speciesist.
I presume the lizard is not a particularly dangerous species.
It is highly venomous. It is one of the lizards that could kill a Croxigore. If it had enough time.
Tahetakai will kind of look at Ashley and say, "Why are you holding?"
I think it's cute.
It is. He pauses for a moment and say, I'm trying to, how would he say this?
Poison.
He'll kind of sit for a moment and say, the spines, very dangerous, no touch.
Is petting the spines. What? Just petting them so that they lay down as her hand goes over it so it doesn't cut her.
If you prick, you die.
Well, luckily, I'm not a prick. Puts the lizard back on her shoulder, continues walking.
Tahetakai is just going to assume that sometimes you just gotta let things play out.
I think Tahetakai is starting to understand the most imperial understanding of all, which is the concept of white woman. You guys find, honestly, the results you guys got were amazing.
Yep.
I'll say easily you guys have enough for 10 more days here. Because you guys have not only you have the food you procured, but also you know where to find the food in the immediate vicinity. If you feed on only that, that's gonna end in 10 days because the fruits don't grow as quickly. But easily you guys have food for 10 days here. So that's gonna be about a day has passed, so like 14 more days.
So I think so long as we're not attacked or some particular event happens, I think we're kind of safe to time skip.
Yeah.
Which is good that you guys found the food. Because as the 5 days pass, you see no ship on the horizon. About 10 days since you guys left. That was going to be the challenge. You guys would have to feed yourselves for 5 more days than usual. But honestly, you guys did very well, so that wasn't
rushed it.
That wasn't really a problem. Good job. You watch the ship on the horizon. It is, honestly, to call it damaged is very kind of me. It is barely floating. There are a lot of large gashes on the side. Only 2 of the 4 sails are currently working because the masts are broken and kind of like just like broken to the side and hanging on the side of the boat. There is a deep scarring of like fire on the side, and you see just has like a lot of signs of damage. Of like, you can even see from as it gets closer to you, because it starts making its way from the north of the coast in your direction. You even see the signs of tons and tons of arrows lodged on the side. Some even you see some axes that are deeply lodged on the that are on the side of the ship.
The hell did they get attacked by?
As it gets closer and closer, you see the people on it. They seem haunted. A lot of the crew is wounded. A lot of them have these like bandages over their heads or over their eyes. You see that even now, as it is getting closer, the surgeon, which you guys met, hasn't stopped going from one side to the other of the ship and kind of like going back and forth and grabbing stuff, including the person who you identify at 10 o'clock as the captain. You see she currently has a bandage over one side of her body, and you notice that she fully doesn't have her left arm.
Ugh.
And you see the surgeon kind of like grabbing some like metric tape and kind of like measuring it, checking for infection as she starts kind of like going towards the deck and wave you. And she starts making preparation to stop the boat.
Yeah, Tehetekai is gonna kind of hiss a little bit and say, Chakwa no look good.
That's an understatement.
It's just the one ship?
Yeah.
The one ship.
Oh, jeez.
However, you do see that there's a lot of people on it. And as it gets closer, you do see the captain pokes its head on the, like pokes her head over the railing, and she screams, "Is it safe to make landfall?"
As safe as it can get.
Gerard looks for the turtle. Has it moved on?
It is a great distance away.
It's just been slowly making its way.
Yeah, Turtle's probably more pissed off, just making sure we don't dig up more shit.
Yeah, you have a.
It's just ominously watching us from like 500 yards away.
Bombastic side eye. You kind of. She agrees, and you see some of the members of the crew look towards you and give a kind of like give you a wave. And the ship quickly throws the anchor down. Some of the and the people they kind of ask for the rowboat back, and the rowco does begin to bring the rowboat, and slowly but surely the crew starts getting out of the boat as they make landfall.
Gerard is gonna lean over to Roko. It's like, I think you dodged a bad one there.
He looks at you, and he got a little better after all. He still looks a little haunted. There's like some deep shadows under his eyes from like lack of sleep. But he does agree. He's like, yeah, I think it was a gamble, but it did pay off.
Do they have plenty of rowboats?
They don't.
Well,
they had an
in that
additional
case,
one, but they very quickly say like they lost the one that they had. So,
in that case, it's time to hop onto the cleft and dig out the rowboat that's been keeping us dry in the evenings, and we hop in that and start rowing to get out to the boat. Well, shit.
Yeah, you guys they start making it takes a while, but they start making their way here, and you see that a lot of the members of the crew are very anxious, and you see some screaming as there's a bit of discussion of who goes out of the boat first. And you see people from the crew are very anxious to get out of the boat and make landfall. And quickly you start seeing people like they start getting things out of the boat and into the rowboat, and then make the slow transition from the boat to the land. The captain is the first one to leave.
It's gonna take so many trips to get all the stuff off the boat.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
To a point where they are also discussing if they just like fully beach the boat, like the carrack, just to make this transition a little easier, because they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Like the boat is fucked.
Yeah, I mean it like boats like that like can be pushed back onto the sea, but it takes a lot of effort to do that.
Yeah. That's the part of it. That is a little bit of a discussion. Like people are just like, some people. A lot of the deckhands are discussing this, and even some members of the crew, some higher members of the crew, like the helmsman. She starts also saying that they don't think the boat could really be fixed. So,
or let alone make the journey back to the old world.
Let alone make the journey. So maybe, like, grabbing the wood from the boat and turning them into buildings and stuff might be better, just because they're gonna have to build a boat from scratch. Although there are a lot of people that own the boat that are also saying like that even though it's gonna be a rocky ride, it is better to fix the boat than do it from zero, because they don't know how easy lumbering is going to be in this place. So there is, as they're putting things out, you do see that there's a little bit of discussion regarding that, but the captain is not discussing it. She's just like, we're gonna anchor the boats, we're gonna start establishing a camp, and then we'll see what we do. That has been her stance. She starts putting things back, and after a while, she gives a wave to the four of you and points towards a place a little bit far away, as if like asking you for a private conversation.
We oblige.
Yep.
Mama.
You guys go underneath like a tall tree where there's a little bit of shade, and she is limping heavily. She has a fully blown handgun. Like, you see that the handgun, you know when people put things on the front of the handgun and then it shoots, it peels like a banana.
Oh jeez, yeah.
She's using one of those as a cane, as like a walking stick. Because you see there's a deep gash in one of her legs, as she kind of like limps away down to the shade of this tree.
First off, let me be the one to officially welcome you to Lustria, Captain.
She gives you a smile and says thank you. Yes, I'm afraid you have not been the first one to truly welcome us to Lustria. But it is a way more pleasant surprise to see all of you alive and well. Though Rocco does seem to be a little haunted.
He's seen some things. I'm sure he'll be fine.
She shakes her shoulders and says, not my crew, not my problem. Anyway, we have a couple of good news, mostly bad news.
Bad news first, then.
The ship. Did you say bad news first or good news first?
He said bad news first.
We are missing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We are missing a lot of the higher echelon of the people, including the future foreman of the mine and Lord Kohler. Both Lords Kohler.
So, what happens then?
Well, for practical purposes and theoretical purposes in the grand scheme of the Imperial fleet, although I don't know if we're too far away for that to really count or matter. As the highest authority here, I am in command of this expedition. Although, probably, it is not going to be an easy time for them should mount some kind of rescue mission, though. Going by boat may not be a good idea.
Wait, they need rescuing?
You found our boat?
Yes, it has been seized.
Is it that Grand Commodore person?
No. Honestly,
Oh, thank all.
Who
from what I could
boat?
talk, you see she kind of shudders a little, and we left the fog on a good place. As we have left the fog close to the place where we are supposed to be. However, they left the fog close to Viggih. Apparently, there was a discussion regarding some kind of protection fee when they arrived close to Viggih. There was a fight. They were seized. A lot of the crew was also seized. Much of them died, which I suppose may be a good thing.
Out of character slightly, does anyone have a look of, like, recognition of when the captain says Viggih? Because Egon has no idea what the captain is talking about.
Gerard has no clue.
Yeah, I think the only person that might know that name probably is the Hataka.
Only in the vaguest of terms.
Yeah, you know it's
Well,
a human colony, but
Well, in that case, when Egon notices...
That guy would
go
just
ahead.
know that's a problematic place. Would probably be as far as he's really concerned with its existence. There are humans there, and they have traditionally not been great.
Right, so when Egon sees the blank faces on his fellow human companions, he asks the obvious dumb question and says, pardon, Captain, but what's a Viggih?
he looks to you, and she kind of closes her eyes. It's like, right, yes, of course, sorry. You were not briefed on it. There's a human settlement to the north. There are a couple of small settlements here. Viggih is the largest one. It is a foal you might actually know, at least by name. It's a settlement mainly inhabited by Northmen. Norscan.
Ugh. Funnily enough, Aisling would actually have the most... Actually, Berard and Aisling would have the most interactions with Norskins. Egon just spits on the ground. Phew.
Those massive bloodthirsty killers. He eyes Manfred's height.
Looks back. Shoot you a side eye. Looks back to Captain.
What is Ashlyn's reaction to this?
More or less confusion, but she's still staring at the missing arm.
Oh, Alexis, for context, there's actually a bunch of Norskins in Salzenmund. Like, they live in some of the, like, poorer districts.
Yeah, they've been a nuisance, but overall they've been treated by us, but yeah, they don't pose too much of a threat to the Shallians.
Well, here, different from there's a bit of a... In Salzenmund, or at least in the Sea of Claws, there is a bit of a competition for them. The Imperial fleet, especially the Second Fleet, is at least able to stop some of the incursions and raiding that happens sometimes. Here, as far as we know, from the little knowledge we have from people that came back from the old world, they don't have as much competition in regards to power. Although, in the great scheme of things of Lustria and things that I heard of this place, they're not the biggest threat, but not reasonable people, I'll let you know.
So, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, do you want us to go try and find the colors?
She looks towards you, and there's a bit of a moment where she kind of like thinks about it. And
Jerks thumb over at Hetakai and says, "We have a guide."
Need more crew. Settlement must be built. So says plan.
I think it would be best for some of us to go to Viggih to see if we can get them out of there. We were captured. We tried to rescue them. A full frontal assault was not very successful. We heard the screaming. Not necessarily Kohler's. I don't know how Lord Kohler's scream is, but some of their crew was being tortured. Would imagine he's a valuable target enough that they will try to ransom him. He did declare himself as Lord Kohler, so you probably know that he is an important person. I doubt that he will die, but if so many people from this expedition die, we're not going to have enough people to build this colony by itself. We were able to save some of them, mostly the miners and some of the soldiers. A lot of them are wounded, though. It's gonna take time for them to fully heal.
What happened to their ships, the other two?
Seized. They
Wow.
boarded, and it was a very bloody fight from what I heard.
How lemon is that? They had a wizard.
Well, I have no idea how the combat happened. I couldn't speak to someone that actually was on the deck while that ever happened. Most of the crew from the main ship from the galleon was seized and captured. I was able to rescue some of the people from the other ships just because they were, not fully important. They were not considered important because they were in a smaller ship.
Maybe the Norskins had their own wizard.
I would not put it past them, although if they do have wizards, from what I heard, a lot of them are not the sanctioned, which is, I would consider them to be way more dangerous than...
Let me rephrase it then. Maybe they had...
I would not put it past them.
Alright, great. So, do you... Can you send anyone else with us to go to Viggih, if that is what you want us to do? I don't think Rocco can do it, though, since, well, he's up there in years.
I am going to need capable individuals and soldiers to really make this place survivable. Now that we have a ship and more people, I am afraid that more raiding parties can happen. They saw us running southward, so it's gonna be a matter of time until they show up on the shores.
Alright, fine.
I can give you some people if you want to, but after what we saw, I am not going to order any of my men to pass through that again.
Alright, fine.
Small hunting party, easier to hide.
I think if you can, that might be more advisable than going for full frontal attack. We tried that and it didn't work.
Well, no, sure.
Not everyone, from what they said on the briefing before we came here, the captains were informed of the little information we had of Lustria. We know Skeggy is not. It is a dangerous place, but it is not inherently hostile. If you arrive as possible settlers or travelers there, you're probably not going to be harassed too much. Though, don't think you're going to be safe either. You may have a chance to infiltrate the place and get some information.
Are travelers here going through these forests?
There's a bunch of people that come to the New World. It is not a rare location to come. Usually people come here for, I don't know, some of them are suicidal, I think. But there are a lot of talks about gold in these places. Not only gold to mine, but gold to be gathered. Or, and she looks to her Tetaka, maybe not the right idea, but yes. There's a lot of talks of treasures and great things here. A lot of people come here to find a new life. A lot of people come here to find riches or make something that will make them settle for the whole life. Depending on how desperate you are, traveling to this jungle is not unheard of. Though a lot of people are not really traveling as much as they are in one of these cities. There are at least 2 colonies above us, beyond the city of Skeggy. There is Swamtown and a place called Port River. We passed through them on the way here. Seem to be small colonies or small villages that were born here. May be able to find some supplies on them, at least until you get to Skeggy.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Well, what was the good news?
Well, I found most of the crews, and I know where Lord Kohler and the boats are.
Oh, I have some good news too.
To be
So
fair,
there's a little trail, and there's a well with fresh water, and there's a snake as long as the boat.
is that one of the good news?
That's the good news.
Alright. Well,
Stay away from well. Collect water very carefully near there.
I'll see what I can do about it. If you have any information that you could help us in regards to food, a lot of our food was lost during the attack. They had something that exploded in fire. I couldn't actually see what it was. I was afraid it was a dragon or something. It was horrible. But unfortunately, a lot of the ship was damaged by the fire. Lost most of our supplies. We're gonna have to scavenge what we can and forage what we cannot.
Oh, so this, and he will pull out one of the mushrooms. This is a mushroom. Don't eat it.
Her face goes from like very hopeful to then, oh.
Oh, but the boars do like it, so if anyone's good at hunting or trapping, they could use them to lure the boars out. And then there's some gross stuff, and he will wave at Manfred and Tehetikai's general direction that they've been grabbing from somewhere, if you're desperate.
Mini bugs. Safe to eat.
She nods very slowly and says, "That is good to know. I presume there's also fruits or things like that? And fish?"
I can show you where the fruit is.
Thank you.
Just be careful, there's extremely poisonous lizards on it. Look! And I hold up the lizard.
You see the look on her face, and you don't even really know intuition for it. You just see the look of, I really want to go home. She says, well, That's just perfect. She looks towards Berard and says, I'll put one of the Imperial scouts we rescued to set up some traps and stuff. If you could inform her, that would be nice. And she points towards the beach, and you do see a woman that is dressed quite differently in this like kind of like a hunter's garb. Seems to be very hot for the place and the time of year. But you do see like a woman wearing this like green tunic with yellowish pants. She seems to have a large feather, like a red feather on her hair, and some paint around her eyes.
Long sleeves, that's a good start.
Sounds like a Sterlander to me.
She's a little on the crazy side, but she looks like she can be trusted. I don't know. Although she did agree to come here, so it puts to a point of how smart truly these people are.
I wonder what that says about us. Yes. So, what time of day is it?
I'll say the early afternoon.
Captain, is time of the essence? Dumb question, maybe.
As I said, I think they're probably going to be kept alive. So it would be good to get as close to the place as you possibly, as quickly as you can. But I don't think losing a day or two is going to be vital for this operation.
Alright, we'll probably set out early morning then.
Again, I truly don't know.
Alright. Egon looks to the rest of the group and says, head out early morn?
Yes!
Alright. Aisling.
Yes.
We're gonna have to get some supplies with us.
Very well. I'll go get another lizard.
Nope, not that.
And she just gives you a little smile.
Alright. So, the rest of the day will probably be spent helping out the, transporting stuff off of the ship, getting everybody set up, showing them around the plateau and the cave that we found, showing them that we already found a gold vein, which is very, very promising. And yeah, I think that's about
hopefully
it.
The gold cheers them up at least.
Yeah, it's like,
hey,
oh, look.
I know everyone died, but here's some money.
I mean, if you think about it, just means that the shares are being split bigger.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
You see that the crew, especially the miners, because a lot of the people that were saved were the working part of it, the working crew. So there's miners, blacksmith or two, some carpenters, people that were sent here to do the working stuff. As well as some guards that are some professional soldiers that also came here. The miners are not really happy. They are happy that at least what they came for was real, but a lot of them are looking towards it in a way of one of them does comment of it's good, but we should wait for the foreman, because he's probably going to be the one that really knows how to secure this place for us to start mining. But a lot of them do, as you show them this, a lot of them do sound hopeful, because there was a lot of doubt that all of this was going to be for nothing. So now that it is confirmed that there is gold here, they do start getting a little more warmed up.
Alright, so with that, we help set up a can people, we probably would use the cave originally as a sort of quote-unquote supply depot to start with. And it's big enough to, like, fit most of the people, right?
The kind of like mine cave?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay, so maybe not that.
With the crew and things like, I'm not going to stick by a specific number because it is a big operation. I don't want to tie myself down with any predictions that I give. But you can expect there to be around 50 to 60 people here.
Okay, then, yeah, okay. Well,
but what they do is that they start getting the supplies, and very quickly an operation starts gathering for people to gather wood and start making some makeshift camp for the night at least. Tents being erected, especially because of the destroyed masts. Some of the sails get ripped out and then used for large tents on the middle of the ground and such. And there's a discussion of like, oh, if something happens, we hide in the tunnel, and a lot of the miners are like, maybe not a good idea. It's like cave-ins can be just as deadly, but you see that people are starting to get close to the place and start planning out how the village is going to, how this colony is going to grow from here.
Okay. Alright, we stick to our little cleft for the most part, since we've already been there like almost 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, however, we pack up as much supplies as we can the night right before we go to sleep, so we can just leave immediately in the morning.
In regards to the people, she did say that she was willing to allow some people to go with you. With you guys, but she would not order anyone to go with you. So if you want, you can recruit some people to go along with your expedition. But that also means that you're gonna have to feed them. So
Egon was kind of swayed by by what Twintail said about having a small party that's able to move fast, and considering we actually aren't spooked by Tehetakai, and we've also been here a while, it's probably not best to take anyone that's just got here.
Okay.
Well, is there anyone that knows lots about Norskins and Skeggy and stuff like that?
I'll say if you guys want to gather some information about the people that came here, because there's a lot of people aside from just the the ship you came with. You could run some gossip tests to kind of talk people up and see how much they know, what is their background, and how
I think that would be wise. If we could find someone that could actually speak and read Norskin, that would be great.
Yeah.
Average or challenging?
I'm gonna say average. A lot of the people are very tired, and you're trying to recruit them for a mission that is very deadly, so a little hard. But
do I get average, or for me is it harder because I'm a lizard?
I'll say average too, just to even things up.
I am not willing to spend my last fortune on this.
We are going to end the session soon because I think it would be better for
we're coming up to a natural.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Because next session's starting with us heading out. Yeah, actually, you're right.
Yeah. Nice, bro.
Oh wow. I mean, I'll throw a reroll at it, but holy crap!
And rewarded you shall be.
Nice target. Nice target that.
Because I think the next couple of sessions are going to be the travel to Skeggy. Because then we're going to do a little bit of a tour, because this is a good excuse for us to explore Swamp Town, Port River, and then Skeggy and a little bit of the jungle around you just to see how it is, you know.
What about the Estalian ruins?
I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
There's the ruins of Cadavo. There's not a specific location for the ruins of
I know that,
but we can explore that if you want to.
I know. Wait, you mean Brion?
Yeah, I don't think the book.
Brion is further south.
Oh, never mind then. Well, Cadavo I thought was a Estalian thing, unless I'm mistaken.
It was built by El Cadavo, who is allegedly, probably, an Estalian pirate.
Oh, there you go. Well, if for nothing else, it should be like easier for us to travel by the coast since it's just there's not as much jungle on it.
Yeah, I think we'll pass through some ruins.
Yeah.
That'll probably be very true.
Yeah. I'm so curious what's in there because I want to know.
It could give us a good excuse to roleplay some journey. So everyone's keeping the rules.
I got a success of a 5+ for finding out if anyone knows Norscan, the language.
Mainly asking for Tehetakai and Nash.
Yeah, I'm keeping my role because whatever, it's fine. No one's gonna want to talk to a lizard whose Reichsspiel is pretty garbled anyway.
I do.
Okay, give it a whirl.
No, she meant she wants to talk to Tehetakai.
No, yeah, okay. So Berard.
I like Tehetakai. He's my buddy. He's my pal. He's my dude.
I'm still mad at you for the snake thing.
Yeah, but I don't understand that, so it's fine.
He's being like a dog that won't look at you when you're trying to get their attention.
As the first adopted lizard, Tehetakai will always be first among lizard pets.
Yep.
So Berard, what is the type of person you're looking for?
Berard is looking for someone who knows Skeggy. Or at least how Skeggy works, because this does not seem like the kind of place where he could blend in by just walking in and being like, yep, just like a normal Imperial town. Here's what I expect to find and how I should behave.
Mm-hmm.
Berard is assuming there are things, cultural or even just practices that people do in this area of the world that sets them, or that doesn't set them apart as outsiders. Berard is looking for someone who might know anything about those traditions.
Do you mind rolling me a D100, please? Just for my own sake. 7. Cool. You actually find a person. As you're kind of looking around, you notice a guy, and you're kind of like talking around and asking about like Skaggy and such, kind of like talking about Skaggy to see if people know the city and such. And there's a guy that you notice has a bit of an accent, and he has a kind of like a yellowish, like a blonde hair with some red, a little bit of red on it. And you find a guy that is from Norscan. He is a Norscan. He has never been to Skeggy, despite, like, he has fought in Skeggy because he was part of one of the crews that was captured, and then like fought for their freedom and went away. So he has been to Skeggy in this capacity, but he's aware of how Norscan societies work, and he can give you a bit of an idea of how that is and how it looks.
All right.
His name is.
Do you want help with that, or? Because I can give you names.
I am trying to see if I have something prepared.
Because I got names.
Yeah, you want to give me a Norscan name?
Ingvar Eison. Boom, I'll type that out.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Wait.
alright.
Please do not try to make me type that out from phonetic sound.
You type it down for us. Yeah, Ingvar.
There you go. Ingvar.
Yeah, you meet this guy, Ingvar. He's not part of the crew. And after talking to him a while, he doesn't seem to be part of truly anything. He claims to be a stevedore, though. He's just here to carry boxes and help around. But he doesn't seem to fit. He doesn't have the muscles of a stevedore or anything like that. But
How is this guy? Is he Manfred tall? The other stevedore I know.
He does look to be similar in stature, like physical attributes to Manfred. Yes. He's a little taller.
Yeah, like 6'1", maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just a whole foot taller.
Yeah. He's a head taller around that. Then.
Oh no, he's like 2 inches taller than me. So 5'11". Yeah, 2 inches.
Yeah,
So that's a whole foot above Berard.
He's a little bigger than Manfred. He's a little thinner. He has like very long limbs and
Berard is
has
everyone's
a little
favorite
bit
manlet.
Look, he's a short king, okay?
Yeah. So he has a bit of a. You do notice he has a bit of an accent. That is very clearly. He's not from Salzamund. And he's willing to go with you if you want to.
I am curious. Can I use those success levels I got to ask about him specifically? Because I take it that I see Berard talking to the guy and I overhear his name and all that. I'm curious if I can find out anything about him.
I'll say, I am going to make a roll for you.
Hmm?
Yeah, the GM's sitting there like, oh, I gotta make shit up now.
Nah.
You actually, I'll say this, because of your successes, what my mechanic for it is that you could recruit one person for each 2 successes above 0. So it's like 2 and then 4 and then 6. As you have a +5, you're gonna be able to, if you want to, you can find up to 2 people to carry with you.
That's the thing. Like, that guy overhearing what he has to say in his weird sounding voice and all that, like, he sounds perfect for what we need, like, which is a Norscan quote-unquote translator to tell us, like, if we're doing any social faux pas and junk like that. However, I don't believe, like, Berard, I don't believe he's telling Berard everything that he should be telling him, so instead of recruiting anyone else, I want to go around the rest of the folks and, like, asking, hey, that Norscan fellow, know anything about him? Yeah, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that was the other role that I wanted to make, was just like how much information you can get from that one.
Right.
You actually recognize him.
What? Oh my god!
You recognize
one
him,
of Dag's crew?
and he knows your name.
Holy crap. I just connected the dots.
Wow.
Oh, finally. Well, welcome
Is-
to the association.
He is not a stevedore, but you quickly recognize the background. He is one of the people that was smuggled into the ships to take place here.
Ah, he's supposed to be the one working with me.
But that's the thing. He didn't mention anything about other people coming to Lustria.
I know that, but
So
it's kind of like Egon sort of like curses under his breath, going like, "Dag, you son of a bitch! I'll get you back for that."
Dag nabbit.
Dag nabbit.
It's from his evil cousin, Grad.
You don't recognize him as one of the guys that ran with Dag. He is actually one of the guys that was expelled from Dag's organization.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
That's what I wanted to roll, is how much you knew about this. Dag is very specific about the type of things he smuggles. He's a very clean guy for a smuggler, right?
Upstanding citizen and all that.
A very upstanding citizen, he has this like clean front, and even in the smuggling community, he seemed to be a very upstanding guy, and like he has moments where he has paid people to deal with threats like green skins and skins and things like that. He is one of those guys that really supports Thousand Moon from the underground. This guy was expelled from Dag's organization.
Do I know for what?
You're not sure. That is not common knowledge. They usually make an example of people that betray some of the rules by killing them. He's one of the guys that was thrown away, so we don't really know. Usually, if people deal in like chaotic artifacts, like artifacts that deal with chaos or like magic artifacts and things like that, usually they get killed. Dag is very specific about that. This is the primary rule. Don't deal with that shit. Don't bring it to the city. Just don't. That's better.
Alright.
People that get expelled usually are for some other reasons, but that's not something you are able to catch.
In that case, I'm gonna make wild assumptions and believe everything I think. Alright, cool. So, Barad recruits him, right?
Yes.
Alright. Cool. In that case, Egon is going to play his cards close to his chest and make sure he doesn't... Well, he's gonna not mention the Dag connection that he was able to figure out, because he wants to see what this guy has to say for himself later. So, right. Alright, with that, we invite him, like, we let him sleep where Rocco used to sleep, since Rocco is now moving up on the plateau, I think? Right, yeah. So, we go back to our cleft, and yeah, this will probably be the last night here. Egon proposes a toast to the cleft, he says, holding a bowl, because we're lacking in drinking objects.
For now.
Tahatakai will observe this weird ritual, but mimic by holding up half of one of those weird coconuts that he's been pulling grubs out of.
Glug glug. Alright.
Safety cleft.
Yes. We toast.
Oh, I hold up my pint.
What?
I have a cup.
You do.
God damn. Fine.
She did indeed ask for a cup.
Oh well.
See, you guys are dumb. I'm prepared for everything.
We drink to the safety cleft, and we go to sleep in it one last time. I'll miss you, safety cleft. You were a good friend.
Yeah, you do that to the scraping of the turtle, like the pieces that broke off as it was trying to get in. Dude, if you want, due to the number of successes you got, you can still try and find one more person, but that's probably gonna be it.
Nah, this is kind of the perfect guy. Like, we can't ask for better, right?
Well, I mean, you could ask for a great source from Euroberg.
I mean, unless we have a literal, person that, grew up and lived in Skeggy their entire life, I don't think we're getting that.
The thing I'm offering is mostly because Skaggy is not the only thing.
I get that. Like that scout lady might
mostly
be
useful. Mostly for like my offer is there any weakness that the group has that you want to cover by hiring someone?
Oh well, I was about to suggest a wizard, but I don't think that's a real. Actually, is there someone? Maybe we should ask for someone that's kind of burly, like a big lad. We don't really have like necessarily a frontliner, so to speak, when it comes to taking hits.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, that's about it. Like, we don't have anyone that can tank a hit. And I'm not, like, when I am the only, like, dedicated, well, I say dedicated frontliner, Tactica is more like cavalry than anything else, because he comes running in from, like, great distance. Shock cavalry.
I will remind you, I have the small keyword.
I know, that's why you run in and it do be small. Alright, fine. I'm literally the only frontliner in this group, which is bad, because I have, like, one hand weapon, and that's it. So yeah, maybe someone, like, who looks, like, who's not the Norscan and looks burly, yeah?
We'll do it like this. We end the session, and I'll prepare an NPC for this, like, burly person. For next session, then we'll pick up as you guys.
Man, we're about to have so many hirelings.
And then, if you guys change your mind and you want to hire someone else, you think about something during the time between now and next week, I'll change it up. And
thanks for agreeing to go exploring with us, but we don't like you. We're hiring this person instead.
You know, time is wibbly wobbly. Some things happened and some things didn't. It happens.
Yeah.
So
time is a flat circle and all that.
Yeah, so we'll just keep it at that, because then we can have the possibility of changing stuff, and if you think about something else. But otherwise, I'll just make a burly guy for, like, being a little bit of a tank, and then we can go from there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Alright, we go to sleep, and tomorrow, adventure!
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. I think we're done. Thank you guys very much for the session, and thank you, chat, for listening to us.
We did it!
Yeah, great session, gents.